Well, Riverside is trying to get back, Corey, to the state championship. They haven't been there since 1982. Fullerton's trying to get back as back-to-back national champions. If they win the state championship, they should be national champions in back-to-back years. So it's one of those things. The old nemesis, if you're a Riverside Tiger fan, Fullerton College. Every time this game comes up, it seems like Riverside plays Fullerton, and Fullerton comes away with the victory. So it should be a very exciting community college football game today here at Poet Field on the campus of Whittier College. Oh, don't forget, all our games are brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Need that new or used Toyota? Maybe you're looking just to spruce it up. Hey, the holidays are here. Thanksgiving, Christmas around the corner. The 2018s are waiting for you. No better place to go than take a ride down to Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Located at Euclid in the 91, Miller Toyota of Anaheim is a proud sponsor of high school sports, community college sports, but most of all, education. That's Miller Toyota of Anaheim.
Tanarius Ashan and Tyrone Marshall. Marshall has a kick return for a touchdown this season. Back deep for the Tigers.
So the Tigers are going to start on offense. First quarter was not kind to the Hornet defense last week. Marshall's going to take it at the 5. Comes up on the right, cuts back in the middle, skips one. He's got to get past the tackler, and he's going to flag drops. And so usually that's something from the far official was thrown about at the 32. Look for a second like Marshall was going to scorch the beginning of this game for Riverside.
Yeah, he has one touchdown, 20 kick returns on the season, 545 yards. And
holding. Return team number 38. 10-yard penalty. First down.
27 yards a pop. So, yeah, that's normal for Marshall.
And we heard the call by the official, holding against Riverside. That's going to move it back to the 20 as we get ready for them to come out. Vic Viramontes. Somebody will say the best player in community college football right now at quarterback for Riverside.
Well, he's for sure one of them, Mark. He's had 7 touchdowns in his last game.
Clifford Sims, the running back. Viramontes is going to take it himself. Dashes the outside, gets on his feet, gets a gain of 6 on the play. Gets all the way up to the 26, 27-yard line. They're going to give it to him. So it's going to bring up a second down and a long 2. Viramontes looks over. Sims still at running back. Viramontes this time going to flip it, flips it out at the 30. Gets a cut. Nice little pass out there. And we talked about his ability to throw the football as Malik Holcomb, his number 1 receiver, catches that one. So Holcomb's out wide to the left. Cam Sutton on the near side of the field. Now Holcomb goes from left to right. Viramontes still at quarterback. First down and 10 at the 35. Sims at running back. Fullerton moves up like they want to bring pressure. Viramontes takes his time. Motions to Sims. Here comes the pressure. Viramontes coming this side of the field. Looking at if he throws on the money. Right there. He dropped it on a dime. And I heard that he gets hot and cold. Malik Holcomb, Corey, just took that in like you were taking a roll off the Thanksgiving table.
Yeah, the corner let him go. David Farmer released on it, stumbled just a little bit, and couldn't get his footing, and that allowed Holcomb to get that step and run on out of bounds.
Derek Williams now comes out wide to the right. Holcomb moves to the left side of the field. Ishan also over here on the right side of the field. First down and 10 at the 25. So Viramontes, who we've heard is hot and cold, well, he's as hot as the temperature right now. Once again, Viramontes stays there, throws it high and outside, incomplete.
And we'll go to Ed Ford because you look at the keys on offense versus the keys on the defense. It is Vic Viramontes. Clifford Sims is your running back. He's a nice complement to Viramontes running you see there, and you saw Holcomb with that catch. Offensive line averages 6'3", 304 pounds.
Second down and 10 from the 25. Viramontes looks back. They walk up. We get the Hornets jump. It's a free play. Viramontes is going to take advantage of it, but they're going to get it over again because it's going to be offset against that defensive line you're now going to mention.
And if you go back to that, you'll notice on Fullerton's defense,
number 95.
It's going to be the bookends, Montre Bonner
Second down.
and Joey Noble on the outside to need to get that speed rush going.
2nd down and 5 at the 20. Viramontes this time fakes it to Sims. Has the middle of the field. Viramontes steps away. Now the pressure comes. Throws it. It's for the middle. Incomplete. And he felt the pressure about that defensive line you were talking about, Corey.
Yeah, you see the wide open in the secondary. But again, Montre Bonner was there. Number 91 on the right. We'll go that offensive line or defensive line. Bonner, Bergueno, Mount Moore, Jamichael, and Joey Noble from left to right. From right to left. The backers. Darrell Johnson, the far side, near side, Roy Otto. Far side corner is Davian Bullock. David Farmer, Jacob Jones. And the near side will be DeJuan Dorsey on the corner.
Justice Murphy out wide to the left. Malik Holcomb in the slot on the left-hand side. Out wide to the right is going to be Sutton. Viramontes now has Sim come up to try and help him out. Sutton looking for that all by himself in the end zone. Touchdown, Riverside.
Ham Sutton with the catch and caught DeJuan Dorsey looking in the backfield, waiting for Viramontes to throw. Against this high-powered Tiger deep offense, you cannot look in the backfield. There's a replay there. You see him looking. And just an excellent throw by Viramontes, and that's his weak point, is the throwing. Doesn't look like it. Dorsey, Jones, Bullock, when they're on the corners, stick with the receiver.
Well, that's his 21st touchdown of the year. He's got 21 TDs and 8 picks. So he's almost at that 3-to-1 ratio as the ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick was good. With 13:05 to go in the first quarter, well, if you're a Hornet fan, I don't know, it feels like deja vu. If you're a Tiger fan, you say this is exactly what we needed, that maligned quarterback that everybody said couldn't throw. Well, I guess he can, as the Tigers are up 7-0 over the Hornets here on Sportsnet USA.net. So now it's up to Fullerton to come out and see what they can do. And Corey, of course, Brian Crook said if you're trailing the play, you're in trouble. That's exactly what happened on that. They were trailing the receiver on that play.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that cornerbacks are taught. Keep your eyes on the receiver. Be even or behind them. It's easier to come up and make a play than go back and flail. Robert Downs at third on the near side, and Justin Manyweather on the far side, returning this one for Fullerton. Kicking off is John Garibay.
So we'll see if they kick it towards Justin Manyweather. Robert Downs, the third. Little squib kick in Manyweather's direction. Manyweather has it hit his foot. I thought he was going to let it go out of bounds. Stays on his feet, gets up to the 25. Thought it could roll out of bounds. They would have get better field position if it would have. So we'll see who comes out at quarterback. I was told the young man stepping on the field is not. Corey, let's look at that Fullerton offense.
And we'll go to that keys on offense. Ladarius Skelton is going to get the start. So he's the key. And Gerald Hewlett in the backfield, he's going to have a big game behind that offensive line who goes 6'2", 290 on average.
First down and 10 on the 25 for the Hornets. Skelton at quarterback. Hewlett in the backfield. They hand it off to Gerald Hewlett. Trying to turn the corner. He does. Gets a gain of 2.
And if you can go back to that offense, that set right there, Ed, on defense, the team's leading tackler for the Tigers is Devonair Crenshaw, 51 tackles on the season. And Josh Allen, converted running back and linebacker, you see him there. 41 tackles, 5.5 sacks, 11.5 tackles for loss. He's athletic as they come.
Richardson out to the left with Wilson. So we get a penalty against the Hornets. That's going to move him back.
And that was on Delton Crandall. He got a hold.
So Wilson goes far to the right. Robert Downs the third out here on the left. Skelton runs a little delay with Gerald Hewlett. Gerald Hewlett at the 30, the 40, the 50. Hewlett's not going to get talked. Don't throw a block if you're a Hornet. He's in. Touchdown, Gerald Hewlett.
Thank you, Mr. Hewlett. Told you need to have a big game, and that's what the offense needs to do. Rashad Harris, Delton Crandall, and what's my man's name?
Oh, come on.
Offensive line, I forgot him. And Eric Pulliam and James Stanton. You see the hole right up the middle. It was a trap play And Gerald Hewlett goes 75. No, that was 85 yards. 85 yards for the touchdown on the second play from scrimmage.
So the ball is spotted. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 12:37 to go, well, it's the Hornets 7, the Tigers 7. You're watching the game here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, we talked about Gerald Hewlett last week and said, boy, 20 touches. He only had 16 for 87 yards last week. We talked about him having 20, 25. He would really do something. He said, I'd like to touch it 20 times. He touches it 20 times a game. He'll have 1,600 yards in this game.
Yeah, Ryan, Avery, and Richie are out there at the coaches show each week. And Avery, you got a chance to talk to Gerald every week and said, you know what, he's just waiting for his time.
Yeah, he is. He said that he hasn't fully unleashed his powers yet. He said he hasn't really had an opportunity to, but he hopes to do that here in the postseason so he can show everyone what he's really made of.
One carry officially, 85 yards, and they needed that. That offensive line, I'll repeat, Rashad Harris at center, Delton Crandall at guard, James Stanton at one guard, left tackle is Eric Pulliam, and the right tackle getting the start today is Muhammad Jefferson, or is that going to be?
It's Muhammad Jefferson.
It is Muhammad Jefferson that got the start. So they did a nice job in what they needed to because Ventura, Riverside has given up 157 yards on the ground.
And they worked that counter play last week against Saddleback. You start in motion one direction, then you cut it back. Little pooch kick in the middle of the field. Coming up, taken right there at the 30, cut down at the 32. So they decide not to go deep. They played a little thing. Jamal Goodman gets it for the Tigers, takes it up to 32. First down and 10. That's right. We're putting points on the board like you put food on the table for Thanksgiving.
And we're going to go back to Ed real quick before they get out here. The team stats on offense compared to the team defense after this play.
So Riverside comes out. We're tied at 7. Malik Walker now in at running back for the Tigers. Viramonte's still a quarterback. Malik Walker takes it, tries to go to the outside, gets across, and gets a gain of 1 on that. So Malik Walker now in at running back, 379 yards, 35 yards a game as a running back so far this season.
Good field by Caleb Johnson.
Tanarius Ashan comes out on the slot on the right-hand side. Viramonte's a quarterback. He fakes it to Walker, looking, pumps, got to pull it down. He rolls out. Here comes the pressure. He's taken down for a sack.
And it looks like he wasn't throwing it to anybody, so they're not going to say intentional grounding. But again, Montre Bonner stays at home. Joey Noble comes up, and they are going to call the intentional grounding.
Well, you called it, Corey. There was nobody out there. He was outside the pocket, and you have to get it back to the original line of scrimmage, too.
And he hit a lineman. First off, in that, the offensive line, Joe Price, left tackle, Bryce Peterson, Kane Villamou, Sosiah Ika, and Trey Bland up front. Bland, right tackle. Price, the left tackle. They'll have their hands full today. That's Shane Darso who checks in. Joey Noble moves over for Jamichael Moore.
So I'm trying to figure out how they got penalized because...
Yeah. Offense number 10, loss it down at the spotted foul.
Okay, so they call loss it down.
Third down.
It's third down, not second. It's third down for Riverside now. So they go back. Viramonte's going to pull it down himself. That's where he's not kept at home on the outside. Corey, this is where he hurts teams. He can run against them. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It should make it fourth down now.
And it will. And that's a nice job of Caleb Johnson again, guys, who's staying at home waiting for something to happen. They were in their nickel package, and Jay Brown did a nice job of covering the middle.
So Justin Manyweather comes back. Deep, he'll stand at the 30. Corey Neyland keeps predicting Justin Manyweather's going to break one yet, one more time. We'll see if it's here in the Southern Section Championships of the CCCAA. High snap, here comes the pressure, they lay out, almost knock it away. Justin Manyweather's going to let it take a bounce and then gets away from it as it just dies in the middle of the field right at the 23. So it'll be first down and 10 at the 23 for the Hornets. It's the Tigers 7, the Hornets 7. You're watching the Southern Section Championship of the CCCAA here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So Ladarius Skelton brings his team back out. Devin Fleming goes in the slot on the right-hand side. There with Devontae Richardson. Marcus Grossman on the left. Empty backfield for the Hornets. Skelton looks first down and 10 at the 23. Takes a chance. Throws it to Marcus Grossman. Little quick pattern of 7 yards to Grossman. Nice 7-yard gain. They're going to give him 9, Corey. Nice spot by the officials.
Yeah, the more catches he has, guys, and Avery was talking about this earlier, the more he moves up the ladder of all-time receptions list.
2nd down and 1. We get almost a jump by Riverside. Skelton looks over. 3 down linemen. I'm going to let you call that Riverside defense in a second, Corey, and set it for our viewers at home. Skelton looks over. 2nd down and 1. Right at the 32. Skelton goes back. Again, quick little set. Here comes the pressure. Rolls away from the pressure. Sets. Gets taken. Instead of throwing it, gets sacked on the play.
That's Devin Charles who gets the sack. And that defense is Michael White up front, along with Misi Pay, Hunter Huhuli, Brady Meeks, Devin Charles, moving to that secondary, Terrell Gillette, Gillette, Devonair Crenshaw, the leading tackler, Aaron Mannery, Josh Allen, Myron Robinson.
3rd down and 8. Here comes the pressure. Skelton runs away from it. Gets a block by Hewlett. He's going to keep it himself. Turn the corner.
And he had Justin Manyweather wide open at the 1st down marker, but decided to keep it, and now they're going to have to punt it away. Good work by Moroni Anai and Eric Wilson coming up to stop him.
So the defense, when it was an easy 2nd down and 1, Skelton double clutches, gets dropped for a loss, decides to keep it himself, can't get the 1st down, and Riverside now looks to get the ball back.
I'll use your Packer reference. Quarterback's got to throw that one.
Yeah, he does. Does. I mean, when you throw it away. High snap, and the Tigers, little left-footed kick, taken right at the 25. And nice play by the kicker, but also by Riverside on a bad hike. And our kicker is down, hurt.
Yeah, Estrada is down after a 45-yard field goal last week. You see it there. And the return heads-up play by Dustin Bush out of Mira Mesa High School in San Diego. Estrada did a nice job just to get it away. But again, Bush did a better job of catching it after 30 and advancing in 15 yards.
And Estrada is holding his wrist when he comes out. Let's hope the young man isn't hurt badly. And again, if people wonder why there was no flag, the ball hits the ground. If the ball hits the ground, he becomes live like a runner.
Yep.
Even though he's a kicker, he's live bait. You can just run over him. That's why there's no penalty, even though he punted the football.
Yeah, it turns into a rugby game.
Yeah, actually it does. Viramontes comes back. Nice field possession. Viramontes has somebody all by himself, Corey, and he has Justice Murphy in the corner, and Murphy just could not catch up to it.
And new secondary, Kari Henley, number 7 out there for the Hornets, is a safety in for Jacob Jones. And on the far side, Todd Jones comes in at the corner.
Sutton out wide to the right. Murphy out wide to the left. Holcomb in the slot on the left-hand side. Sims the running back. Viramontes tries to get him to jump. 2nd down and 10 at the 15. Viramontes looks over the sideline. Takes his time. Tightens up the formation just a little. Viramontes now sets him. 2nd down. Here come the Hornets. Viramontes. He gets sandwiched in the backfield and can't get away for a sack on the play.
Montre Bonner was there first. Caleb Johnson and Jamaica Moore clean it up. That was for the Bonner 91 fan club out of North Carolina and Virginia checking in. They get that. That's his 10th sack of the season.
Lost to 12 on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 22. Sims stays in at running back. Sutton stays out wide to the right. Holcomb in the slot on the left.
Watch Jay Brown out there, 23, the nickel guy. He comes in. Darryl comes out.
Viramontes puts Sims behind him. Now he puts Sims in motion, puts him out on the wing. Viramontes throws it out in the flat. Sims is swallowed up. Corey, I tell you what, if that was a fast food place, they just picked up 12 meals for us right there. It was that quick.
And that's the most decisive Fullerton's been at linebacker all season. Montre Bonner is coming back a little bit hurt, but that was a nice play by Caleb Johnson.
Illegal shift against Riverside. And I wondered what they were going to talk about. There wasn't even really a flag on it, Corey. The official saw it, didn't throw it because the play went so fast. So that moves them back. And Riverside says, we're going to punt it. Justin Manyweather says, I'm going back quickly just in case on that one. Garibay gets ready to punt it away. At the 45, a little pooch kick over the middle of the field. You got to turn around and watch it. If you're a Hornet, you got to stay away from the football. It's going to die at the 14.
And guys, I like Taj Jones. He was thinking about it. He was thinking about picking that
up. He was.
If nobody was by him, he was gone. But nice job of laying off him. An excellent job by the Fullerton defense. Riverside got the ball in the red zone and comes away with no points.
Yeah, and really it came down to, again, Corey, so far they have contained, not that they will all day, but the early parts of this game, they have contained Viramontes. Johnny Photo comes out at quarterback for the Hornets.
And, guys, watch number 20 in white for Riverside, Josh Allen. He's a defensive player of the week. He's one of those guys that is just all around the ball. 12 tackles last week against Ventura.
So the two-headed quarterback stays. Photo at quarterback had a great game against Saddleback. Goes back, has time to throw. Throws across the middle field. Marcus Grossman all by himself. You couldn't have laid that at Grossman's hands any sweeter.
23 yards on the pitch and catch, and that's what you can't do is be afraid to throw that ball down the middle. As good as Riverside is, 12 interceptions on the season, you got to be comfortable with that.
Malik Abdul-Haq out wide to left. Grossman in the slot on the left-hand side. Wilson out wide to the right. Photo at quarterback. Hewlett in the backfield. First down and 10 at the 38. Photo is going to take a step. He's going to run it himself. Johnny's got to take on big guys. Tucks it away at the 40. Gain of 2 on the play.
That's Mike Hill White out of Linwood High School on the stop. And Photo's not as dynamic a runner as Ladarius. He can't pick up good yards when you need it.
Wilson out to the far side of the field. Had a great game last week. Robert Downs the third in the slot. Big hands. Marcus Grossman in the slot on the left. Second down and 8 at the 40. Grossman goes in motion from left to right. They tried to run the option. They run the short side of the field. Johnny Photo says, Corey Neyland, I can run the football. Watch his quarterback option, and he picks up 10 yards.
And that was a nice job. Like we said, he can run it when he can, and he does a nice job on off the option of reading the hole.
Spencer Owens now comes in at tight end for the Hornets. Huffman out wide to the left. Tight on the right side, tight end Owens. Deep set back is Hewlett. Photo now moves him and changes around the offense. They fake it. Going up the middle, Huffman by himself. Photo has all time to throw it. Throws it on the set side. Nice play, flag, because there was wrestling on the sidelines. And who do they go to? Well, they go to that man I was talking about, Spencer Owens, the tight end, Corey, over here. Big body where the defender had to fight through it.
Yeah, and he couldn't fight through it, and he came and held him, and it looks like that's going to go on Myron Robinson. But they had two options on that play. You saw Jordan Huffman do that post pattern, and it looked like it was going to be open, but Eric Wilson, the team's second leading tackler, dropped back in time to force Photo to throw it over to Spencer Owens.
And what gave them time is they fake it to Gerald Hewlett, and you have to respect that 85-yard run. First down and 10 at the 35. Photo comes up the line of scrimmage. He almost gets a jump by the Tigers. Looks back over. Hewlett in the backfield. Wilson now on the left-hand side. Justin Manyweather in the slot on the right. Photo looks over the defense. He's thrown it over to who else? To Justin Manyweather. Justin Manyweather holds on to it. Tries to get down to the 20. They're going to mark him down at the 22. Let's move the chains again.
Avery, what you like about that is Manyweather held on to the ball and corralled it and not let it go.
They're doing a good job of securing everything that they catch. Even on the runs, they're doing a good job securing the ball and limiting the turnovers.
Photo brings him back out. He stacks the right side of the offense this time and runs that direction. Hewlett throws a nice little chop block right there on the corner again. And this time when Hewlett throws the football, he drops it right into the hands of Robert Downs III.
Efficient. Nice, efficient movement. Not going for the big one, but those 10, 20-yard chunks in between yardage doing a nice job of moving the chains.
And he's thrown it to different receivers. Not one particular. Malik Abdul-Haq out wide left. Grossman in the slot on the left-hand side. Hewlett in the backfield. First down and 10 at the 10. Hewlett goes in motion. They fake it. They throw it back to the other direction, trying to get it there. And beautiful defense. They lose a yard on the play.
Tyrell Gillette out of Philadelphia, Imhotep Charter High School. I mean, he did a nice job. He didn't just shed the blocker, Mark. He threw the blocker down, came up, and made the stop on Wilson.
6:09 to go. We're tied at 7. The Hornets trying to knock on the door. Second down and 10. Start Robert Downs, a third in motion. They run the option with Photo. Photo steps inside. Sidestep, stays down there, gets across the 5 all the way down to the 4. It's going to bring up a big third down for Fullerton College.
Yeah, 3rd and goal from the 4. You want to have Gerald Hewlett in on this play somehow.
Daniel Sanchez comes in at the up back. They bring in both tight ends. Owens comes in also. Hewlett the deep setback.
Even as a decoy.
Photo now shifts people out. Sanchez now comes up in front as a fullback. They start again in motion the other direction, trying to get Riverside to change. They go straight up the middle with Hewlett. Hewlett gets close. It's down at the 1, Corey Neyland. I'm going to look at you. What do you do, Coach?
Go for it.
And the Hornets say, quickly, let's get up. They do I formation. Sanchez the up back. Hewlett the deep setback. Hewlett's going to get stopped short. He doesn't make it.
He fumbled. He fumbled as he was trying to reach the ball into the end zone. And it's one of those things that you try to get a quick count and force it through, but nothing going. Gerald Hewlett fumbled it at the 1.
So either way, either you get stopped or you fumble. They still don't get into the end zone. And we both like the decision for them going for it.
Yeah, you like the decision because you don't know if Estrada's how hurt he is on that field goal attempt. So you want to go quickly. You don't want to use a timeout. And they did a nice job of getting 2 yards to play before. But they just couldn't get that last one. Good push by the Tiger defense.
We're at the 5-minute mark. That's right. Viramontes goes down the field, threads the needle in the corner to get that first 7. And then Gerald Hewlett says, well, that's easy to make up. Just hand me the ball. I'll run 85 yards straight up the middle, and that's how we're tied at 7 here in the first quarter of this championship Southern section game of the CCCAA here on sportsnetusa.net. Tight formation. We get a little motion right up the middle. Viramontes himself is going to take it, get a gain of 1 on the play, trying to get some room to run the football against the Hornets. You look at Viramontes this season, and we've already talked about him. Averages 143 yards in the air, 121 yards on the ground. Out wide to the right is going to be Sutton. In the slot on the right-hand side is going to be Holcomb. Viramontes going to throw over here. Throws it over there. Picked up and taken out to about the 6. So they throw a quick little slant out there, taken out of the air by Malik Holcomb, Corey, for a nice catch. Nice little gain down in the end zone.
Yeah, pushed back by David Farmer. And we're going to have to look at those stats during the quarter or during the timeout.
Murphy goes out far left. They're going to put Murphy on an island. Out on the left-hand side. Sutton stays here on the right side with Malik Holcomb. Viramontes at quarterback. 3rd down and 3 at the 8-yard line. He handed it right there, and depending on the tackle, I think they move the chains at the 10-yard line.
I think he's just short.
You think he's short?
Yeah.
And they are. They're going to bring up 4th down. Corey, even the offense thought the officials marked it up a little more. We have an angle up here. I thought maybe he got past the 10. I'm going to say he was down just short of the 10. So the Hornets should end up with good field position again, but the defense for Riverside is stiffened. They stopped the Hornets last time down. 4th down and 1. Nobody can jump. Up the middle, out of the end zone. High spiral. Justin Manyweather takes it at the 50. Goes up the side. Spins, stays on his feet. Gets shoved out of bounds at the 42-yard line. So with 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter, it has been a good one. It's Riverside 7, Fullerton 7. You're watching the Southern California Finals of the CCCAA here at Whittier College on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Mark Pavlovich, Avery Jordan, Richie Melgoza down there. They'll be doing little things during the halftime. Johnny Photo brings them back out. Hewlett stays at running back. First down and 10 at the 42. Photo looks over the defense. The defenses have been spectacular to start this game, to say the least. Photo goes back, gets a block, has time to throw it. Middle of the field, all by himself. Wilson goes down. Does he catch it? He pulls it in. Was that Wilson?
Yeah, it is Kedrian Wilson.
Gildian Wilson. You called him big play, and we called him big play last week, and he does it again. Tell you what, this young man will make the big plays. And Corey, he has said that that's what he wants to do. He was out there with Avery and he told Avery, I love the big plays. Gerald Hewlett says, so do I. Gerald Hewlett goes up the middle, gets across the 5, down to 3. We get a flag on the play. That's going to be a late flag. We'll see if it's against the Hornets.
Helmet came off. It's going to be hands to the face one way or the other.
And it was interesting with Wilson because, Corey, you know the big play on the far side of the field where he went back on the back shoulder pass? He changed the play with Johnny Photo. It was supposed to be an in route. He signaled Johnny Photo, I can beat my guy, I'm going deep. 3 times he told him before the ball was hiked, and Johnny Photo just shook his head like, okay, I get it. Go deep. That was not the play that was called. That was not the route that was called. Him and Johnny Photo changed the route at the line of scrimmage. First and goal for the Hornets at the 3. Photo comes up, hands it off to Hewlett. Hewlett cuts inside a tackle. This time gets down to the 1. It'll be second and goal at the 1.
Yeah, and Kedrian Wilson, I'm trying not going to mess up the boy's name. So Kedrian has done a nice job. I see Avery over there smiling. He's done a nice job of becoming that big play player as Robert Johnson is not in the game.
Ladarius Skelton comes in, and they run the jumbo package. You like this, Corey.
Love it.
With Skelton as the Wildcat back, even though he's quarterback. He says just delay, and he waits on the play, and they come in from the corners to get it.
It wasn't Skelton. That was Maroney and Ney who came in and just flew in and make the stop. Is it going to be offsides, though? Yeah.
So it's offsides against the Tigers. So if you're a Tiger fan, you just think you made an incredible defensive play, but they get a little quick getting off the ball, and the official throws a flag. So they go back with that jumbo offense again. Second and goal. This time Skelton says, let me run the direction he's in. Touchdown, Hornets.
Yeah, running straight against that Tiger defense right into the mouth. It doesn't work too many times, but they get it this time. Is coming in to do the kicking is going to be Alex Moreno for the Hornets, not Estrada.
So as much as you want to say it about the offense, it's been the defense that has given the offense great field position twice to take the lead in this game with 1:52 to go here in the first quarter. Johnny Carmack gets it down. Ball is up. And the kick is good. So Carmack, the holder, with sure hands. Corey, that hike was a little behind him. Johnny Carmack gets it down. Marino puts it through the uprights. The Hornets 14, the Tigers 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Well, we saw Carmack last year with that national championship team be perfect on extra points with the kicker, the holder, and the long snapper. So now we're going to go to Ed Ford and see the team stats for offense for both these teams. And you can just see how they match up and why they're here. Points per game, Fullerton 55.8, Riverside 40. Another record for the Hornets. Here's the interesting thing, rushing yards. For such high-powered offense, their rushing is better than their passing, 290 for Riverside, 264. And look at the penalties per game. These usually come down to Fullerton Riverside games, 11 for Riverside, almost 13 for the Hornets. Less penalties equals a winner.
So Marshall and Sean back. We'll see what they can do. They step up a little with a new kicker in the game. So they're going to move up to about the 10-yard line. Looking for a shorter kickoff. It's the Hornets 14, the Tigers 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Deep kick. Marshall backs up. He is at the 2. Marshall looks for an opening. Cuts the outside. Gets away from 1. Sidesteps. Goes down the sideline. We get a flag. And the flag is back where you will normally see some sort of either block in the back by the offense or holding against the defense trailing the play.
And what's funny about that play is last week against Ventura, you saw Marshall down the right sideline jump over a Pirate defender and scoot on in for 40 more yards for a touchdown.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 38, the return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Devin Hessler, the new linebacker on the right side to join Darrow and Otto. Henley still in there at safety. Farmer is in there at the other safety, moving left to right. Far side corner is Taj Jones. Near side is DeJuan Dorsey. Kerry Walker out of Texas now the right end. Joey Noble the left end. Moore and Bergueno interior.
Derek Williams out wide to the right with a Sean. Out wide left is going to be Malik Holcomb. Viramontes by himself in the backfield. Goes back. Quick little pass by Viramontes. Nice little speed, but better defense on that, Corey. As Viramontes put a fastball out there trying to get it out to the left-hand side to Woody Brandom, the big tight end.
Yeah, Viramontes is a bounce back from Cal out of Centennial High School. Actually, Norco High School, excuse me.
Blake Walker in now at running back. 2nd down and 10. Viramontes fakes it to Walker. Ball comes out. It's on the ground. The Hornets pick it up at the 10.
And Devin Hessler comes up with the fumble recovery. I don't know if it was Bergueno. It looks like that because he's excited. Bergueno and Moore crunched on Viramontes to cause the fumble.
Can you see it on the replay there? So the Hornets get a huge turnover. Here in the first quarter, they're down there again. Ladarius Skelton comes back in. Huffman goes out wide to the right. Devontae Richardson comes out wide to the left. Skelton at quarterback. Hewlett the deep setback at the 10. They hand it off to Hewlett. Hewlett outruns his offensive line, basically gets down to the 8. They might give him the 7.
And for Viramontes, his 5th fumble, his 2nd fumble lost on the season. And we're going to get Richie Melgoza to go on to the press box to see who caused that fumble.
Malik Abdul-Haq comes out wide to the left. We have timeout on the field. So with 1:15 to go, there's an official timeout on the field. It's the Hornets 14, the Tigers 7. You're watching the CCCAA championship game here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And he's also going to grab some first quarter stats for us after the first quarter ends. So we're going to go back. Ed Ford, do you think we can take a look at that defense on just what both of these teams do so well and what gets them here to the SoCal Finals? On a repeat, 20 points per game for Riverside. That's what they give up. Fullerton gives up 17.6. That's not a bad job. Yards per game, and here's where they really stand out with this, Avery, with this prolific offenses in California. They're only giving up 362 for Fullerton, or 362 for Riverside, and 332 for Fullerton. The rush yards, Fullerton's only giving up 62. But the interceptions, ball hawks, 22 for Fullerton, 12 for Riverside. Riverside usually leads the state in interceptions. This year, a little down. And sacks, well, Fullerton, you saw it here, 48 sacks on the season, 4 a game. Riverside with 35. Avery, what?
And that's Montre Bonner doing a lot of work on the defensive end. But on the offensive side of the ball, the Hornets have done a lot better job, especially towards the end of this season, going into the postseason, of protecting it. They've only got 1 turnover this game. They cut their turnovers down last game. That definitely helped them come back to beat Saddleback in a close one.
2nd and goal at the 7. Skelton stays in at quarterback. Hewlett in the backfield with him. Justin Manyweather on the slot on the left-hand side. Ladarius Skelton says, no, this time, Corey Neyland, I'm taking it myself. And he just walks it into the end zone with 105. And so the Hornets defense gets the turnover, and the Hornet offense cashes it in.
When you notice there's a run game, and this will work when Riverside gets their run game going. When they get their run game going, it'll stretch the outside, and you saw it there. It stretches the outside, opens up the lane for the quarterback to run through.
So the Hornets look to be up by 2 scores with 1:05 to go. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. With 1:05 to go, it's Fullerton College 21, Riverside City College 7. You're watching the CCCAA Southern Section Championships here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey, even though the Hornets have 21 points on the board, it really so far, not saying it'll happen the entire game, the defense has been able to keep Viramontes, who's prolific as a quarterback, in check.
Yeah, you said it. It's only the first quarter. You saw what they did against Ventura, is they were down 26-21 in the third quarter, and then they just exploded.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at a young man that can rush for 121 yards a game, throw for 143 yards a game, you can't say you win it in one quarter. So if you're a Riverside Tiger fan, this game is far from being over. They've got 3 quarters to go, and they've got the tools to get back in this game quickly here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Marshall back deep. He's touched the ball the last 2 times. It's been kicked off. We're here at Whittier College, Poet Field. Marshall backs up, slides underneath it right at the 3. Marshall looking for a block. Gets hit at the 16 and goes down.
And it looks like, and it is Peter Kasibwe who upends him. And new left end is going to be Kareem McDonald to join more Cameron Proctor now on the interior and Montre Bonner.
So Malik Walker comes back in at running back. Viramontes has been bottled up so far in this game. Quick little outs. Viramonte throws it there, and Corey gain of 2, to say the least, as Malik Holcomb catches it and gets smacked as soon as it gets in his arms.
And that was Taj Jones with the tackle. Taj Jones is Fullerton's most aggressive secondary guy.
Sutton out wide to the right. Holcomb stays in the slot on the left-hand side. Sean comes back in. Justice Murphy out on the top side of the field. Viramontes looks things over. Gain of 2. Viramontes goes back. Pumps, looks for the middle of the field. Take it there. And if you don't step out of bounds, Murphy is still running down the side of the field.
Yeah, and Viramontes threw it in the nick of time because David Farmer was late on the coverage. Viramontes put a strike. When he's on, he's on. And Murphy did a nice job of bringing it in out of Vancouver, Washington.
Murphy stays out wide on the top side of the field. Holcomb stays up there with him. Bottom side of the field is going to be Cam Sutton. Viramontes goes back again. He feels a rhythm. He can throw it. Here comes the pressure. He's taken down, sacked from behind.
That's 2 for Mr. Bonner.
And he is unofficially the all-time sack leader, according to Corey Neyland here at Fullerton College. And in saying that, we come to the end of the first quarter. And as we come to the end of the first quarter, it's the Hornets 21. The Tigers 7. You're watching the Triple C AA Southern California Championships here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Hey, the weather's beautiful out here at Whittier College today, and if you weren't at a football game, well, you might be over at Miller Toyota of Anaheim, buying that new or used Toyota. It's the perfect day. That's right. Open up the bank account. Go over there and say, wait a minute, what do you got that's nice, beautiful, charming, great mileage, and it's a Toyota for sure. I got to have it. No better place to go than Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Miller Toyota of Anaheim, located at Euclid in the 91, is a proud sponsor of high school high school sports, community college sports, but most of all, education. That's Miller Toyota of Anaheim.
Mark, we'd also like to thank everybody listening and not listening, watching SportsNetUSA.net. This broadcast brought to you by Ed Ford and the crew. Washington, North Carolina, Virginia, over there in Hawaii. Matt Norman, we see you. Brian Norman over in the beautiful downtown Monrovia.
So 4 wide receivers to the left. Viramontes pump fakes it back. He gets it. Corey Neyland said they should have called a hold in the backfield. They did not. They get it back to the original line of scrimmage, which is going to bring up a 3rd down.
So no hold, but so good block by Bryce Peterson.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 11 right at the 40-yard line. Walker in the backfield. Viramonte's looking. They stack the receivers. Viramonte feels the pressure. Throws it, gets hit while it's there. And Corey, the pressure makes him throw it early when he gets hit. He was looking for Derek Williams down the sideline. Williams was looking on an out pattern. He threw it to the inside because of that defensive pressure.
And that brings up another 4th down. Good hold by the Hornets secondary and a good rush by that front 4. And Mark, also want to thank the listeners out of New Mexico. Didn't know we had one in New Mexico, Utah, and Arizona.
There we go. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. Justin Manyweather looking the sun.
Forgot about Colorado.
Don't do that. High hike. Kicked off the side of the foot. A spiral. Manyweather backpedals. He's going to let it hit. It takes a beautiful kick for Riverside. And they're going to mark it right at the 4.
61 yards in the air. Beautiful. 56, sorry. 56 yards right out of bounds inside the 5.
Nice little spiral. So it'll be 1st down and 10 with 14:32 in the second quarter. It's the Hornets 21. Riverside City College 7 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
First quarter stats. Viramontes was 7 of 13 in that first quarter with 92 yards and that 1 touchdown. Only 4 rush yards on 8 attempts for Riverside in the first quarter.
Malik Abdul-Haq out wide left. Marcus Grossman with him on the left-hand side. Ladarius Skelton at quarterback. Hewlett in the backfield. Skelton keeps it himself, comes in, gets across the 5. Gain of maybe a foot. Oh, they're going to say, well, it's actually going to be about a yard, Mark, so they mark it right at the 5.
Yeah, Skelton, those 2 rushing touchdowns in the first quarter. Gerald Hewlett, 6 carries, 94 yards.
Abdul-Haq out wide to the right. Robert Downs the 3rd in the slot on the right-hand side. Marcus Grossman goes in motion from left to right. They run the option the other direction. Ladarius Skelton takes it, goes across the 5 to the 7. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and a long 7 yards. Skelton looks things over. Abdul-Haq stays out wide to the right. Robert Downs the 3rd stays with him. Marcus Grossman goes now from left to right in the slot. Riverside, 3 down linemen looking to bring pressure. Skelton takes his time, works the play clock. Kicks over the defense. Gets back. Quick step. Has to get rid of it. Goes down. He's going to get sacked. He throws it away. That's intentional grounding. That should be a safety.
It won't be intentional grounding. He was trying to throw it to Gerald Hewlett on the far side, on the opposite side towards there. So it's not going to be an intentional grounding. Don't throw it.
They're talking.
No, they're going to say Gerald Hewlett was there.
Well, if you're a Riverside fan, you're saying safety. If you're a Hornet fan, you're saying there was somebody out there.
There was.
And they're saying that Gerald Hewlett was out there. Excellent pressure by Riverside, though, on the Hornets. And the Riverside fans aren't happy, Corey.
No, I wouldn't be happy either because they didn't see Gerald Hewlett. He was there. He threw it out of bounds. And this is where Ladarius Skelton, guys, has to be more decisive with the throws, with his decisions. He's either got to throw it or run it. You're going to make him a one-look guy now. One look, it's not there, take off.
So timeout on the field with 13:14 to go. It's the Hornets 21, the Tigers 7. You are seeing the Southern California Football Association championship game here on SportsNetUSA.net. I should give them credit, shouldn't I, really? The SCFA. Should call it their championship game. Instead of the CC, well, I can call it the CCCAA.
It's the CCCAA SCFA SoCal Championship game.
And you didn't put a poem together using those initials? What's wrong with you?
No, we had the poems last week. I thought we
No, there was just one haiku last week.
Yeah, I thought there was one haiku last week.
Excuse me, you went to the same school he did if you called that a haiku? Both of you guys didn't pass.
I counted the words.
I corrected the haiku, okay, at the end.
He overdid it on the words, but it's cool.
Syllables, 2 syllables too many. 5, 7, and 5 syllables. That's a haiku, guys.
Oh, man. Riverside saying, we want a couple syllables. Off the side of the foot, it's a lame duck. Just trying to find water if it's lucky, and it just comes up dry at the 35. So it'll be first down and 10 for Riverside at the 35. They have had great field position on 2 bad punts here in the first half of this game. Couldn't do anything with it the last time. Now they're looking to do something this time, Corey, to get back on the board and feel like they're back in the game here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Prime opportunity to do it as Viramontes comes back, and Clifford Sims is going to be joining him. And you can tell they bring out 4 wide receivers.
Murphy comes out wide to the left. Sutton goes out wide to the right. Sims in the backfield. Viramontes rolls out, hoping Sims throws a block. Viramontes is going to get hit as the ball comes up, and Viramontes throws it right there. And this is where they talk about as Holcomb comes down with it, Corey, he will get hot. Malik Holcomb really is taking a crossing route the same direction his quarterback is rolling for a first down.
What Holcomb does is gives Viramontes a chance to make a throw and open up his body to shield Jacob Jones, who was trailing on the play.
Out wide to the left is going to be Murphy. Standing next to him in the slot is Holcomb. Sutton out wide to the right. Viramontes pumps fakes, looks for Sutton in the end zone. Does he come down with it?
That's it.
No, he's out of bounds for Sutton. So Sutton looked like he came down with it. They said he was out of bounds, so incomplete pass.
Yeah, Davion Bullock jammed his hand in there just enough, and Sutton, that was a beautiful catch. Nice throw, too. If he could have come down with it, that would have been tremendous. And that's the type of play the Tigers would have needed. Right now, they simply need a touchdown.
Derek Williams now comes in as a wide receiver on the right-hand side. So he's going to be far to the right. Far to the left is going to be Murphy. Holcomb in the slot on the left-hand side. Viramonte says, let's run the option. Does run the option. And Corey, you got no place to go when you're running that option. Clifford Sims met the entire defense for the Hornets running the option.
Hi, my name is Devin. I like long walks on the 20-yard line, and I'm going to just bring it down here.
So Riverside again, looking good with field position, wants to get something. Doesn't want to go backwards. Viramonte looks over at the sideline. Clifford Sims stays in at running back. Justice Murphy goes out wide to the left. Holcomb goes in the slot on the right-hand side. Viramontes looks over. Sims goes to his left. Third down at 14. Viramontes comes back, gets hit, throws it up. There's pushing. Ball is not able, and there's no flag because the ball was thrown out of bounds, so it was not catchable.
Yeah, and you saw the side judge throw his hat. That meant the receiver went out of bounds first. So if he comes back in and catches it, Avery,
it's a flag. It's a penalty. So the defense, again, gets great push, and Riverside has decided we've got to get points on the board somehow. They're going to put the ball at the near hash mark and try and get it in there. Garibay kicks it. The kick is up. And the kick is good. So Riverside, with 11:43, gets back on the boards. It's the Hornets 21, the Tigers 10. You're watching the CCCAA, or the Southern California Football Association Championship game here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ed Ford, Corey Neyland, Avery Jordan out to the right. And Avery, when you look at it so far, we talked about it while we were all with Ed setting up equipment. Defensive battle is what we heard on the field, at least from the Hornet side. It has been that defensive battle.
And we called it out earlier, or actually you called it out earlier. Corey, you said that the linebackers were going to be the big deal in this game, and they're going to be the key to actually winning. And Mark said the key was going to be turnovers. Right now, I believe it's 1-1.
That's right, and that's about, how old are we? About 110 years old here on SportsNetUSA.net. Justin Manyweather back deep. We'll see if he can get one in his hand. Robert Downs the third. Robert Downs the third, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Want to make sure I get the right number in there. It's up. Take it at the 30. All the way up, and that was just a great catch taken there, Corey, up the middle, and that was Joshua Jeffrey as an up back.
He's dangerous.
That when it first got to him, too, he went, wait a minute, I'm actually touching the football. Watch me run.
Yeah, he's got a 50-yard touchdown also this season. And that's Robert Downs at third, but if he was an Osborne, it'd be Robert Downs at third, junior, 3 times junior.
Marcus Grossman goes out to the top side of the field or the far side with Malik Abdul Haq. Johnny Photo in at quarterback. Hewlett, the running back. First down and 10 at the 43. The Hornets up by 11. Photo trying to get lots of time. Counted away. Looks, turns, thrown there, caught. They're going to call it a reception. They do. And Johnny Photo throws it to Robert Downs III, the only place anybody can catch it, Corey. That catch just before you're going out of bounds.
Yeah, Robert Downs times 3 did a nice job of keeping that one foot down and getting that reception. And a good job, because that was good coverage by Eric Wilson.
First down and 10 at the 40. Photo getting the protection at quarterback so far. 3 down linemen. Riverside comes up. They look like they're bringing pressure. They do. Photo's got to get rid of it. He does. Going down the middle of the field. Marcus Grossman almost pulls it in. I'm sure Marcus Grossman says, I should have caught that football.
Well, he is saying because he hit him right in the hands, and usually he'll come up with that catch. But you saw Josh Allen come up, bring the pressure. Photo wanted one more half a second to throw it, but he didn't get it. Good job up front by the Tigers.
And excellent one-on-one coverage by Riverside.
Yeah, they like to go man-to-man.
Second down and 10 at the 40. Photo looks things over. So Riverside changes things up.
Yeah, you will never say the Tigers don't have athletes and good players on the field.
Oh, and they do. And they give effort on every play. I was talking to a coach about that before the game. Photo looks back. Hewlett goes back a little deeper. Photo gives it to Hewlett. Hewlett sidesteps on a 30. What a move. He slipped through the closet on his way to the back room and steps out right there when he hits the back porch looking for the animals grazing in the backyard.
Now look at the replay. This is elusivity right there. Right there, and he just eludes him right on the dead little skip step to the side and scoots on out.
That was what?
Elusivity.
Elusivity.
Yes, it is.
Oh, my. First down and goal for the Hornets. Photo says, well, you know what? If you think you are, it's touchdown Johnny Photo.
And what did that play before set up? It set up Johnny Photo. And watch everybody looking for Hewlett. Right there, there's 3 players for Hewlett, nobody for Photo, 6 points.
You know what Riverside was doing? They were flipping through a dictionary looking for... What word was that? They were wondering if you actually were an educator. They weren't quite sure. That confused them as the Hornets get on the board with 10:43 to go here in the second quarter. So the Hornets move it down the field. David Hendrick, the 4th quarterback, comes in as a holder. The kick is up, and the kick is good.
Hendrick holds for Estrada. Carmack holds for Moreno because Moreno's a left-handed kicker. So, yeah, that's in the dictionary right next to slivery.
But let's go back to both of Hewlett's runs, Corey, because when you think about it, even with Skelton getting in there, and Skelton had a good run too, it was both after the one time they run the counter for 85 yards. Skelton then fakes the counter, gets a nice run. That time they run one. Hewlett gets a gain of about 27 on that. And then Johnny Photo fakes it to him. And you've got to play honest if you're Riverside when Hewlett touches the ball.
Yeah, and what you saw in both of those replays, the first play they ran that trap play, but the offensive line created holes. Not huge, humongous holes, but just enough because they know what type of running backs behind them is going to wait just a tad before he bursts through. His first 5 yards once he hits the line of scrimmage is exceptional. And you don't know what's going to happen because he has soccer feet out there. And Gerald Hewlett on that long run there, his hips moved as well. We're not going to say Marcus Allen-like, but he is Marcus Allen, Le'Veon Bell for you young people, the way he moves in patience.
High floater. Marshall again. It's going to take it at the 2. Up to the 10. Looks for a block. Shake and bakes it to 20 and leaves it right there at the 22-yard line. You know, let's not forget Johnny Photo was an All-American high school player in Colorado. Had over 4,000 yards in the air when he played there. So when everybody goes, he's a number 3, he's a number 3 on this Fullerton team. And actually, there is no 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's a bunch of ones, and it's 1, 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. They could start for anybody the same way Viramontes could start for anybody on the community college level. Viramontes goes back, trying to feel no pressure. Gets it out of his hands again. Gain of 2 on the play. So Viramontes trying to get the pass play to work so he can run with the football.
And instead of keeping it, West Coast style, Thomas Jones and Tiki Barber, when he was at the University of Virginia, did a nice job, much like Gerald Hewlett, moving without the ball.
Throw it out here at the left-hand side, across the 30, just short of a first down. So they threw it out here to Malik Holcomb. Malik Holcomb has had a good first half with 10-11 to go in this first half. They're seeing if he made it.
I thought he did.
Well, I think we've got a flag at the end of the play. The official is out there talking. We'll see if there's a call. They're going to mark something back there, Corey. So there was a flag at the end of the play. I didn't see a signal. Here it comes.
After the play, personal foul. Offense, number 57. Unnecessary roughness.
It's going to be against Trey Bland.
The result
So
of the play was still a first down. It'll be 1st and 10, Riverside.
So they made the first. It's a dead ball play, so they move it back to the 18. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. Viramontes brings them out after that setback, trying to get something work here. Riverside, so sort of says, hey, we're just not doing it. Walker now back in at running back. Fullerton comes up. They run it straight up the middle. Off the left tackle if he can get that initial block. Cuts back in. And a really nice no block by Justice Murphy, because if he throws a block, it's a block in the back. Love a wide receiver that knows what they're doing on a nice little run play for another first down.
And Ika and Villamou up front on that interior opened up that hole and created that wall. It was really a zone block there, that scheme that came through and let Walker get through.
Malik Walker averages 34 yards a game when he's back there. Quick young man, so we'll see if they use him. Viramontes goes back. Viramontes, the ball comes out. They don't say his arm was moving forward. If not, it's a turnover for the Hornets.
And that's Cameron Proctor who gets the recovery. And was that Jamichael Moore who caused a fumble? Or was that Montre Bonner again? I couldn't tell.
I thought it was more.
Okay.
I don't know, Avery, did you see it?
It looked like Jamichael, but it did look like his arm was going forward.
I thought his arm was moving forward. I don't know if we have a replay of that or not. We do not, so we can't tell.
Well, I was thinking the same thing, so that was a bad call.
Yeah, it really did. I thought his arm was moving forward, and the official, I waited for him to. But that's 2 turnovers now by this defense. Huffman goes out wide to the left. 1st and 10 at the 29. Ladarius Skelton comes back in. Riverside needs to do something. They hand it. They run a reverse. It's a flea flicker. Ladarius Skelton throws it there. Receiver gets knocked down. There is no flag on the play.
No flag deserved. That one, he was knocked down, but that ball was not catchable because they had no idea. John Snowden had no idea where that ball was. And if Ladarius Skelton throws the ball, then that's 6.
Offside.
But he floated the ball.
Number 28. Lined up in the neutral zone.
And Mark talked about hunting ducks out here. That was one that came through and flew over and just went out of bounds because,
And if you're a Riverside fan with 9:20 to go, you're just saying to yourself, keep it close. Just keep it close. We've got a second half to go. Johnny Photo now comes quickly into the game with 1st down and 10 at the 25.
He also threw for 4,000 yards at the Division II level.
Yeah, I mean, he really is a wonderful quarterback. We know they love him in Colorado. Johnny looks over, changes things at the line of scrimmage, goes back. Johnny says, give me protection. Tries to throw it to Marcus Grossman on an out pattern. Grossman keeps running downfield, so a little confusion on where the ball was going.
Last time we pump him up.
Grandma, that's Corey Neyland you need to send the email to.
You know it was coming. You know the jinx was coming.
Hewlett now hasn't touched the ball again for a while. You keep looking for him to maybe get it more. Wide spaces by the 3 down linemen. Linebackers are coming. They said, Johnny Photo's going to keep it. Photo keeps it, goes up to 25. We've got a flag down at the yard marker, so you wonder if that's offsides. Again, it is against Riverside.
That was Lamar Christmas on the stop.
So it should be enough for a first down.
Offside. Defense, number 91.
And
5-yard penalty.
you wonder the defensive linemen, all they have to do is look at the ball, wait till the ball is snapped. But those three guys up front are so quick and so dynamic. They're looking to make a play, and that's why you get these offsides called.
Devontae Richardson goes out wide to the left. Photo feels the pressure. Runs a little counter right up the middle. Gerald Hewlett steps out of it, says that's not my size, and gets in the end zone. He said, I'm a 10.5, not a size 8. And he scores. We have a flag at the 20. We'll see if it's offsides against Riverside.
It is.
Offside. Defense, number 20.
That was Josh Allen.
And so Gerald Hewlett refused to go down. And okay, Corey Neyland and I have had this conversation. I got to throw it back at you.
Wait. Can I get another tweet from Virginia people?
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
And now can I throw it at you? Because we've talked about Gerald. We saw the great running backs of 2013. We've seen Chapman. We've seen the great running backs here as the ball's going to get spotted. We'll put Corey Neyland in a bind here. Ball is blocked in the end zone. So they're going to knock it down with 8:57 to go. It's the Hornets 24, the Tigers 10. So can I 34, the Tigers 10. So can I throw Gerald Hewlett at you as
Yes.
how good of a running back he really is?
If he had as many touches as Jeff Andrews, Joe Chapman, Kelvin York, all those guys, Mike Charles, he'd be in the top 5, top 10 rushing totals for a season and career. He'd be one of those guys. Gerald Hewlett is one of the best we've seen because it's a different type of offense. You don't know, but yeah, he is. I mean, I don't know if we've had as dynamic as a running back and most well-rounded a running back since Kenny Turner in 2009.
Okay.
We have it here in Gerald Hewlett. Ryan Bird was a phenomenal runner. LaVory Johnson was the fastest we've seen.
Oh, yeah.
Kelvin York was a beast. Gerald Hewlett, Joe Chapman, Kenny Turner, those guys are in a mold to themselves because they do everything.
So Hewlett over 100 yards in this first half rushing.
At 150 at least.
Shun takes it at the 5. Goes at the 20. He's got an opening. Gets away from 1. He goes the outside. He's down the sideline, so he's going to step out of bounds. They're going to mark him at the 44. Great return. Flag on the play. It should be against the Hornets.
It looks like Ibrahim Kanadi, is going to pick up 15 yards more for the Tigers.
It's the Hornets 34, the Tigers 10 with 8:49 to go. Here in the first half, second quarter. Gerald Hewlett says, well, let's see, I'm averaging about 22 yards a carry. Stick around. We're going to have some halftime guests. Richie Melgoza's out here with Avery Jordan. Oh, it's against Riverside.
Wow.
Well, Avery, if you're a Tiger fan, you thought for a second you got that huge break that you needed to get back in this first half.
Well, yeah, because they've been shooting themselves in the foot, especially in that last drive when they've been given those offensive or those offsides calls.
Well, again, that's trying to get to Johnny Photo, who's had excellent protection when he has been out there. And when you give somebody like Photo that much time, you know he's going to find an open receiver.
Right.
Viramontes comes out again. Wimbish now in. Viramontes, the ball gets hung up. The Hornets need to turn around and look for it. Ball goes up. Catch. Flag on the play. It's going to be pass interference. We'll see, and it's going to be against Riverside.
Again.
Riverside gets the call as they push off when the ball is in the air.
Pass interference. Offense number 1. 15-yard penalty.
So Justice Murphy gets the call against him. And again, you get an official when they see both hands, Avery, go on a defender or on an offensive player. the official will normally throw there, even if there's nothing to do with the play. Doesn't adjust it, you'll get the call. So if you're a Riverside fan right now, you're saying, come on, ref. Give us a little yellow in our favor. Quimbish still in. Viramontes looking for something. Viramontes hands it off. Quimbish gets up to the 14. Ball comes out. He gets pushed back to 10, but they're going to give him the 13. 8:35 to go. It's the Hornets 34, the Tigers 10.
Well, Mark, you told me before the game even started they like to spread out on the inside and create space, and that's definitely what's been happening, but the Hornets have just been jumping in there. Super aggressive.
Everybody's playing their lanes. Viramontes going deep, and this time it's overshot, and you want to get somebody's looking. You've got to complete your routes if you're a running back. Justice Murphy was looking for the flag, but if you could see that while he was going down the field, he got to the 50, stopped his route. And officials, when you don't run through your route, normally won't give you a flag, so Riverside doesn't get one there. Brings up a 3rd down and 20 at the 12. Viramontes looking for the hot hand. He had it to start the game. Viramontes sees the defense ready to come. Hands it up the middle. Nice little delay. Fullerton needs to make. Quimbish gets tripped up at the 30. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up a 4th down. So they run a draw, and now we've got a player down on the field. So we're going to get an official timeout with 7:50 go here in the first half. Players down. It's the Hornets 34, the Tigers 10. You are watching the CCCAA Southern California Football Association Championship game here in the Southern section on Sportsnet USA. .net. Avery, when you really look at this game, it has been as good as Ladarius Skelton has been. Johnny Photo and Gerald Hewlett have been the two people that have stepped up, especially Hewlett, that we think is probably around 135 yards in this game. And you've seen them all play out there. Photo gets a lot of love from his wide receivers.
Mm-hmm. Especially from Keydream, who we just talked to on the Coaches Show just this last episode, this last week on SportsNetUSA.net.
So the Riverside, the running back we just talked about from Riverside is going to slowly walk off. Again, let's hope that he's not seriously hurt. These are student athletes out here. They use the game of football to move on with their lives. So that's what you're looking for is Justin Manyweather is going to stand at the 30. Sneaks up to the 35. They wind the clock here at Whittier College. High spiral. Manyweather goes back. Gets the heat-seeking missile at the 20. Tries to get away from the wave that is all orange on top of him and knocks him down on great coverage at the 20-yard line. 7:38 to go here in the first half. Hornets 34, Tigers 10. Here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Stick around at halftime. We've got a few people who come up and visit us at halftime. Softball's around the corner. So the young ladies from Fullerton College are going to come over and visit us at halftime, talk a little softball, get ready for next semester. Skelton comes back in at quarterback. Looks over, 1st down and 10 at the 22. Skelton taking his time. Hands it off, keeps it himself. Skelton doesn't hand it off, keeps it himself, goes up to the 40, scampers out at the 40. And now since you have a successful running game with your running back, Avery, you can run the option because you have to watch Gerald Hewlett back there.
Well, you just talked about how Hewlett was having a great game this first half. He's really helped open up Johnny Photo's game and Ladarius's game.
Skelton pitches it to Hewlett. Hewlett gets a block, cuts back in, stays on his feet, gets a gain of 7 on the play, up to the 47. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 3. We're at the 7-minute mark in the first half. Robert Downs the third. Devontae Richardson out wide to the right. Ladarius Skelton rolls this direction. Going to go deep. Looking for Richardson. Goes up. He's out of bounds. Incomplete pass. So Devontae Richardson goes and gets it, but he's out of bounds. He averages 17 yards a game, 10 yards a catch. No touchdowns yet this year. Longest catch he's made is 18 yards. That would have broken it right there. Richardson stays down there. Robert Downs the third in the slot, along with Justin Manyweather. Wilson goes to the top side of the field. 3rd down and 4 for Skelton. Riverside comes up the corners. They bring up pressure. They hand it off to Hewlett. Hewlett up the middle of the field. Gets just past the original line of scrimmage. So this time they crash on the outside and make the tackles that they need to make for Riverside, making some of the stops out there. Hohuli on the tackle. The Hornets, 4th down, said let's go for it at this stage of the game. Riverside brings everybody up to the line of scrimmage. Skelton looks over the sideline. Richardson, Robert Downs the third, Justin Manyweather. 4th down and 4. Skelton now moves back. Quick kick is a possibility, and that's what it is. Off the side of the foot, a little quick kick, a little back spin, takes a forward spin, and it's going to dribble out of bounds at the 22. So with 6 minutes to go, Hornets 34, Tigers 10. You're watching the CCCAA Southern California Football Association Championship game from Whittier College here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Remember, all our games on Sportsnet, USA.net are brought to you by Miller Toyota. That's right. No better place to go, no better buys to be made than Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Viramontes brings his team back out. Malik Walker at running back. Viramontes wants to finish his first half hot like he did at the beginning. Viramontes, quick little out, puts it on the money right there by Holcomb. Holcomb gets knocked out of bounds and a flag on the play. So Holcomb gets ridden out of bounds, and that's where you need to just say, Cody Darrow, enough is enough, as Darrow gets flagged for a personal foul.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 49 of the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Oh, Mark, it sounds like there's a lot of Riverside fans over here.
Well, if you're a Riverside fan too, Avery, you know, no matter who you're a fan for, you always feel like the referees aren't calling it for you. And so Riverside's looking for a few breaks besides their football team doing something. Viramontes said, we got to go, and Viramontes going to pull it down himself. This time, Viramontes stays on his feet, cross down to the 45. So off tackle gets a great block out there by Holcomb, and we're going to move the chains again. So Viramontes does what he does well, runs with the football. Murphy comes out wide left. Holcomb in the slot on the left-hand side. Top of the field is Cam Sutton. Viramontes goes back. Looks over Sutton's direction. There's Cam Sutton in the middle of the field. Sidesteps one. Cam Sutton, touchdown Riverside. So Cam Sutton runs a deep post pattern, catches it as Viramontes puts it on the money in stride. Doesn't get taken down and gets in the end zone. And a much-needed touchdown with 5:27 to go here in the first half by Riverside as they get back on the board. Riverside says, well, I know we're going to have an extra point. We just need a kicker. No, we need a holder. And we're going to get timeout towards Riverside. So timeout with 5:27. A little confusion on the extra point. Riverside's going to come on over.
Number 2, Riverside.
Well, Mark, the good thing that I've noticed here is that the Hornets have keyed in on Viramontes, and they've said, you know what, this is their best guy. This guy's responsible for all their points coming into this game. He's had he's responsible for 40 touchdowns, 20 on the ground, 21 in the air. This guy puts up big numbers, and he definitely puts the team on his back. The Hornets have pretty much been playing him that way. You know, this guy is the reason that they're scoring. Let's just make him have a difficult day and make everybody else work. And if we can get in the pocket, which they've been doing, the pocket's been disintegrating, and the Hornets have been all over the place. And it's made today a rough Saturday for Viramontes.
Well, one of the things you do is you run shorter routes, which means you don't need as much time for protection. Ball is spotted at the 10. Kick is up. Hits the goal post. So with 5:27 to go, well, a couple boinks by both of them as Riverside just boinks it off the outside. So Riverside, but they get on the board, and that's exactly what they needed. Viramontes orchestrates another touchdown for the Tigers, and with 5:27 to go, you just feel like the momentum may be back on your side of the field if you're a Riverside fan. We've got an entire second half to go, and at this stage of the game, it's 34-16, guys. Anything can happen, just like it did in the Ventura game last week, if you're a Riverside fan here on SportsNetUSA.net. Great turnout by both schools today to watch an exciting community college football game. Robert Downs III, Justin Manyweather back deep. Justin Manyweather, 6 yards deep, says, no, I'm going to take a knee. So he downs it right there with 5:27 to go. Whistle blows, kickoff, run, passes, touchdown Hornets, celebration time. That's a haiku.
That's what you've been doing on that iPad over there.
That's a haiku.
Corey wasn't even here to hear it.
Corey would have told me I did it wrong. So, yeah. Cal State Long Beach, we understand English and math. Johnny Photo comes back in the game. Fan in front of me. Cal State Fullerton can't really add too well. There we go. we have another one there. See? Brian Osborne, one of our interns, goes to Cal State Fullerton. Corey Neyland, a Cal State Fullerton person. Here comes Corey Neyland up that sideline. Sir, the man in the black shirt's got your hamburger if you need it. Here on sports.usa.net. Ladarius Skelton looks over. Skelton going to throw it. Hewlett come out of the backfield, catches it on a little swing pattern, gets up to the 30. We were talking about Cal State Fullerton, Corey. Gentleman would like no pickles on his burger. He was telling me where you guys may work at. Get it out to the 30. Third down now. Skelton stays out there. Hewlett in the backfield. The Tigers, if they can hold and get on the board again, are in this game. Skelton goes back. Has time. Decides to run with it. It's got to get rid of the football. Throws it out in the flat there. Caught there by Devontae Richardson. And boy, Skelton just looked and looked and looked. And Devontae Richardson stayed at home, Avery. And Skelton got him the football.
Skelton was really, I don't even know what he was scrambling in there. He got away from everybody. He got real slivery, like Corey Neyland would say.
First down and 10. Skelton goes back, has protection. Hewlett makes a block, and then Skelton gets hit. Incomplete pass.
And it looked like it was Hunter Huhuli who was in there to lay the wood to Skelton.
Malik Abdul-Haq goes out wide to left. Grossman in the slot on the left-hand side. Skelton at quarterback. Hewlett at running back. Second down and 10. Grossman goes in motion. He goes back deep. They run the option the other direction. Skelton stays on his feet, gets past the sticks. First down for the Hornets.
What you call that, Mark, is the old 15 power. Around the 5-hole, they stretch it out past the 7. That's just old school run play. Your lead blocker is Gerald Hewlett, and you just single wing formation.
Wilson to the near side of the field with Robert Downs III. Skelton, first down and 10 at the 35. Goes back, has time, steps up, double clutches, throws it to Malik Abdul-Haq, who I never get to say, his dad's a really nice gentleman. Sir, your son catches it right there at the 20, stretches out, first down Hornets. So Malik comes up with a big catch in this game. Wilson out wide to the right with Robert Downs III. Grossman in the slot on the right-hand side. We get timeout on the field with 3:36 to go. It's the Hornets 34, the Tigers 16. You're watching the CCCAA, Southern California Football Association Championship game on Sportsnet USA. Pregame.net.
Special thanks to Francis Narvez with the easy up, making things slightly more comfortable. And when I mean slightly, not at all, but thank you very much.
Hey, it's nicer than Gabby sitting out in the sun getting baked,
it's
right?
nicer than what we have. But no, Miss Marvez did a nice job, and wanted to thank her for keeping Gabby cool so we don't have to call some people to come and get her.
Well, we can't do that because that car's parked where the ambulance would be. They never towed it away.
Then I'd be sleeping and spending the night with you.
Yeah, my cat would be snuggling with you.
Probably more friendly if I did that.
Malik Abdul-Haq goes out wide to left. Marcus Grossman out there with him on the left-hand side. Now they put Grossman in the backfield. Corey, a new look for the Hornets. They start. Misdirection. Throw it to Grossman. Grossman should have caught it. Doesn't. Gets knocked down. Incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10.
It wasn't going anywhere anyway because Eric Wilson, the team's second leading tackler, was already there. He got 8 pass breakups coming into this game.
So Fullerton comes out. Wilson goes wide to the left. Hewlett in the backfield. Skelton looks things over. Here come the Tigers. They step up. They back out. Devontae Richardson out wide to the right. Robert Downs the third moves a little closer. Marcus Grossman stays where he's at. Skelton looks over things. Here comes the defense. Hewlett says, I got to turn the corner. There's no place to go. Steps out of bounds. Gets knocked out at the 20.
That was Devin Charles on the stop along with Anai. They're joined by Wilson, Myron Robinson, Josh Allen, Aaron Mannery, Devonair Crenshaw, Hunter Huhuli, Michael White, and Misi Pei.
So the Riverside defense looking to make a big 3rd down play here in the 2nd quarter. If they can sneak a little closer, they're feeling good. Skelton looks over, says, what do I do? Hewlett steps up a half a foot, goes back. Here they come. Skelton throws it deep, looking for the back of the end zone. Doesn't get the back of the end zone, and Riverside gets a flag in the corner.
That's a tough play. Terrell Gillette, yeah, they're going to get him because he did have Hawks. Was that Hawk or Wilson?
I thought that was Wilson.
That was Wilson. Okay, that was Wilson out there. He did have him. And then right at the last minute, because you don't have to look back in the college game. You just have to keep your hands off. He did have his hands on him, and that's where they're going to get the pass interference.
And that is for those of you that are watching, that's one of the big things in the college game compared to a pro. There is no such thing as face guarding in the college game. And if you really read the pass interference rule, guys, read it in the pro game. There's no little substandard that says you need to turn your face around in the pro game. They've just decided you need to do that. So they call pass interference against Riverside.
And that's a tough play because he was there. I mean, he was there. All he needs to do is put his hands up. But again, every time you play like I didn't touch him, yeah, you're going to get that call.
Wilson stays out wide to the left. Richardson stays out wide to the right. Justin Manyweather in the slot on the right-hand side. Gerald Hewlett up the middle, almost to the goal line. Stretches out, Corey. Last time he did that, he lost the football. So they move it up. They're going to run it quickly. 2:55 to go. Riverside trying to get people. It should have been a flag on the play. Up the middle. They're going to call him in. The officials are looking. Touchdowns, Hornet.
That's his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the penalty marker on the field is that Riverside was trying to get their defense on the field from the bench. So what you're going to get is offsides, should be against Riverside if there is a flag or if it stands. Offsides against Riverside, and that's because they were trying to change up their defense.
Yeah.
So that flag was going to happen as the Hornets get on the board again. So Hendrick comes in. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. So the Hornets 41, the Tigers 16 with 2:46 to go here in the first half. It's been all Fullerton College in this game. And Corey Neyland, you look, they put up 78 against Grossmont. They put 56 against Saddleback. They put 56 against Palomar. 66 against Orange Coast. 55 against Golden West. 33 against Saddleback. And we're still in the first half, and they have put up 41 against Riverside here on SportsNetUSA.net.
And to truly feel comfortable, you need to put up about 41 more, because Riverside is a team that they can score in bunches really, really quick. They have a fast break type of offense. They get 6, and then they got 18, 21 points in just a couple of minutes. That's the type of offense they are.
Yeah, and you see a couple of Riverside fans already packing up their stuff, and you want to say, there's a whole second half. Maybe fourth quarter you leave, but I'm with you. You get 2 quick scores if you're Riverside to start this game, or one here and one in the second half, you're back in the game. Bearcat signals for right at the 20. It's going to take taken down there. And we get a flag, and Jeffrey makes Corey. That is, can I say, a ridiculous play on his part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I got that other voice you heard was Avery. Avery, I mean, the play's done. You pick up a guy, and even if you don't throw him down hard, but you pick him up, the whistles are blown. Why?
I don't even understand.
And you can tell the coaches are not happy as you give now Riverside out to the 35. So now if I'm Miramontes, you know what? I start cranking up my arm because it really doesn't matter at this stage of the game.
Yeah, it still does.
Sims is in the backfield. See what happens. Viramontes goes back as time. Pulls it down. Viramontes double clutches at Corey Neyland. In doing that, he just says, whoops. Shouldn't have done that.
Joey Noble, 9 sacks. 9 sacks on the season for Joey Noble.
This defensive line keeps getting better and better and better. Hey, you in Northern California, you better hope it rains at that championship game. Viramontes, second down to 14, goes back, quick little out, thrown there, drop at the 30. Third down and 17. 2:14 to go. Smothering, maybe in the first half. Overwhelming, could be in the first half. Viramontes brings him back out. Clifford Sims at running back, looking for something. Malik Holcomb's had a good first half. Need to look for him if you're Viramontes in the slot on the left-hand side. They hand it off to Sims. Up the middle. Sims looks to get back to the original line of scrimmage. He does. And one thing Brian Crook said, guys, you can't be trailing anybody when they got the ball. So far, it hasn't happened since that first offensive set.
Yeah, and this is a defensive line that's on par with that 88 team, 84 team. That 2003 team had a line of Zach Keish, Ryan Granger, Gabe Long. That defensive line was phenomenal.
You know, I asked Brian Crooks, Corey, when I said, is Montre Bonner one of the best as we get timeout on the field with 1:35 to go? So 1:35 to go, it's the Hornets 41, the Tigers 16. I asked Brian Crooks that.
Before you get that, then you got 2009, you had Anthony Walton, Joel Bonamolo, also on the ends coming across with Shaw Lane. 2013, Corey Gabriel. Simon Pody, the linebacker. That offensive line was Darius Lewis, Sean Stevens.
Defensive line, right?
Defensive line,
okay.
Yeah. That defensive line was phenomenal as well.
So what you're saying was what Brian Crook said to me. So I'm going to have to ask you. He said, how can you pick a best?
You can't. They're on par, though. But you can pick a best if they win a championship, yeah.
Of all time, though?
Because you got to go back to the 60s, and you've had, I'm forgetting Hall of Famers' names.
You know, and that's what he said when I said, well, you said you really can't pick a best. And he goes, no, because you can't forget the guys that played here. Justin Manyweather hopes he sees one and can pull it out of the air. Waits. High. Deep. Punt again for Manyweather. He said I was going to get it, and then he lets it go. It slides into the end zone, touchback.
And that's where you say these guys are special, because these guys bring something different to the table. Bonamolo and Walton on the edges, they were just speed washers. They did well. Montre Bonner, he might play the run a little bit better than they did. You have Joey Noble, who can play all 4 positions in their 4-3. Jamichael Moore on the interior is another Gabe Long. And you know where Gabe Long went to SC, went to Utah went to Utah as well.
All right.
Corey Gabriel in that 2013 played the interior. Joey Noble can play all of them. Jamichael Moore can shift and athletic, has an interception that we saw last week.
Which we thought he was taking back for a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, these are just special guys on that defensive front.
Johnny Photo in at quarterback. Hewlett at the running back. 1:25 to go in this first half. They run the counter with Hewlett. Hewlett hits the line of scrimmage, gets across the 20, down to the 22, gain of 3 on the play.
Isaiah Flowers is there. And don't let me forget Oscar Burqueno, because he's been the unsung guy who just keeps making plays and keeps making plays. And so that's okay. I'll be there at the end.
Photo looks over. We're at the 1-minute mark in the first half. It's the Hornets 41, the Tigers 16. Photo goes back, has time, goes deep. Photo throws it out to Richardson. He goes out, can't pull it down on a nice one-on-one defensive play by the Tigers. So Devontae Richardson can't pull it in. The Tigers not going to give up against this Hornet football team, and I'm with Corey Neyland. You can't give it up either.
Now, you would have liked a safer play that time by the Hornets. Maybe try to get 5 yards down the field, 5 yards, pick up a first down, and go into halftime with this lead.
I formation. Hewlett the deep setback. They call timeout. They had Sanchez the up back, and Devontae Richardson didn't know where to go.
Yeah.
He was going to play the tailback.
I know with that fullback in there, that's a play that they picked up good yardage with Gerald Hewlett in this first half of play.
So 51 seconds to go. Yeah, we're going to talk a little softball if the ladies are still around. Natasha Trujillo, who pitched here in Whittier and now is over at Fullerton. Shelby Beamer, pitcher from Riverside. So we'll see if the ladies stop by at halftime. Somehow our halftime guests get lost along the way.
We'll see. You can talk to Richie.
It's sort of like there's a big vortex down there.
He's going to get the halftime stats anyway.
Well, I don't know. Last week we didn't get any halftime guests either.
I sent him up here. And you and Ryan didn't do your job. I mean, you sent him and then just sent him away.
They just stood here. The wrong guy came up. Johnny Photo now in the backfield. Hewlett goes to his right-hand side. Third down. They hand it off to Hewlett. Hewlett needs a block. Gets a block in the outside. Turns the corner. Stays on his feet. Short of a first down. The Hornets are going to punt it away with 40 seconds to go in the first half.
And it'd be nice if they kept the timeouts up to date.
So 31 seconds to go. The Hornets should not have to punt it away. We're at 26 on the play clock, which is behind the clock in the field. So the Hornets are going to walk towards the sideline. Riverside's hoping somebody does something, and that's going to take us to the end of the first half. As we come to the end of the first half, it's the Hornets 41, Riverside City College 16. You're watching the CCCAA, Southern California Football Association Championship game on Sportsnet, USA.net. And Corey Neyland, guess what? Right on cue, like all good student athletes, the softball team shows up on time. Not like the other athletes that we've known here at Fullerton College. So, ladies, I want to welcome. It's nice to see the women's program. Both of you come out here and support the men in the game. I'm going to say it point blank. I would hope that the men would reciprocate and come out. And look, I'm getting smiles and shaking a yes already. I really do think the men should come out and reciprocate. On the women's side, we should have full houses for softball.
Absolutely.
Over at Fullerton
Yes.
College. So, Shelby, I'm going to let you tell me your last name so I get it right.
Bamer. Yes.
And Natasha Trujillo.
Yes.
I've got you on here. And, of course, we're big fans of softball on SportsNetUSA.net. We were out there last year. We've done the PGF. We've done the Michelle Crew Classic. We believe in women's sports. That's why Corey's nickname is Title IX, my partner here on SportsNetUSA.net. So, Natasha, you are actually, were you a resident here in Whittier? You went to Whittier High School?
I went to Cal High.
You went to Cal High,
yeah,
but that's
Cal
here in the Whittier
Yes.
area. And you were a pitcher over there,
Yes.
over at Whittier. And you went to high school?
Riverside Poly.
So you went, so basically, did you play against each other?
No.
In high
Not
school,
at all.
you didn't play against
No.
each other.
I
So
wish
over in
so.
Riverside and over in Whittier. So I'm going to start with you because let's start at the high school program. What is the high school program like at your high school for the softball ladies that want to play the game?
For me, at my high school, it basically got me prepared to come to college and to play at college. You know, the college level is completely different, though. It's a lot more intense. The game pace is a lot quicker, but definitely at my high school, we did a lot of conditioning and getting ready for college. You know, getting us ready to play at the big level. So,
Shelby, what about you over at Riverside?
It was also pretty intense. I had some big shoes to fill when I came back because I went to King High School as well my sophomore year, and I went back to Poly my junior year. But I had some pretty big shoes to fill coming back from CIF champions, and then I had to fill that spot immediately. So I just had a lot of pressure, but I channeled that pressure into adrenaline, and I just went out and I did everything I could do to perform for that team. So I think it was a pretty good experience being able to have that responsibility and to take on that role for a team that, you know, wanted to win again. So
Okay. Well, I don't want to put any more pressure on you, but your college president is standing behind you, listening to you here on Sportsnet US. Greg is going to come on with us real quick
Hi.
in a few seconds after you're done. So you both played, and you talked about the pressure. Did both of you play club ball?
yes, absolutely.
Okay, so
yes,
you
that
played for who?
was- I played for USA Athletics.
Okay, and you played for?
SoCal Crunch.
So you talk about the pressure, and that's something, and let's bring that up too, because we're talking women's sports here. We always hear about Fullerton needs to win, the pressure the football team's got, the basketball team, Perry Webster, you were close, you didn't win. There's as much or more pressure on you ladies to win because, again, women's sports are not loved or embraced the way men's sports are. So do you two feel the pressure as female athletes to make sure your team wins at the high school, now at the college level?
I definitely do. I feel like the pressure, it gets to you sometimes, you know. You feel like they have so much I think it's more of like expectations, you know, especially coaches wise. They have so much high expectations for us to do well, and because they have so much confidence in us. And so like when we don't succeed or when we fall, you know, it adds that much more pressure on us to do well or to come back, you know. I don't know.
I think it's another expectation that we need to meet because you do see, you know, Fullerton College football, Fullerton College basketball, but you never really hear about the other sports and how we're doing. So I think this year we're kind of implementing being that change, being that difference, being that that statistic that, you know, we can come back, we can make a name for ourselves, and we can be just as big as Fullerton College football, Fullerton College basketball. So I think that's a pretty big focus this year is for us just to make a name for ourselves and pack those stands as much as possible.
Yeah, see, and I'm going to be on your side because when the women's water polo team was national champions, we didn't hear the, woohoo, look at what, we're national champs. But if you do that in football, you get one of these shiny
Yes,
things, and
definitely.
everybody walks around and
Looks
says,
good.
guess what, you know, on that. Position players, I'm going to let you, are you pitchers?
I'm a pitcher.
Yes,
Pitchers, okay.
Yes.
So we look at pitchers. They controlled it. In the old days, they really, Michelle Granger, we can go back to the old tapes. I know you two are historians of your game.
Yes.
So we can go back to the old days and say the pitcher really was that focal point in softball. The game has changed a little. Hitters are better. So I'm going to ask you, because the game has changed a little, what do you work on as pitchers in the softball game? I'll start with you this time.
So definitely mechanics and hitting your spots is probably the most important thing. Being in control of the game, being in control of the tempo of the game is pretty important too. I think against teams like Cypress and Santa Ana, those big hitting schools, it's really important just to work on the things that you know you can control and letting go of the things that you can't control. Like hitting my spots, being able to just go in there and do what I know how to do and what I've been doing for my whole life. It's just being able to control those things, I think, is the most important thing that we work on, and just like the little things like being able to do our snaps, 40 times in a row, going in feeling good before the game, because if you're feeling a little edgy, then you're not going to come out with the results that you want. So just it's more mental than physical. I think it's just we know how to do the game. We know how to pitch. We know how to hit. We know how to do all these things, but it comes down to what's in your mind and what you can control in your mind.
Exactly. I totally agree. The one thing that, personally I've been working on is trying to give up less walks, because last year the walks killed us.
Really hurt us. Yeah.
So as much as possible, like every game, setting a new goal each game. Okay, like this game I'm not going to walk a batter. And if I reach that goal, that's good. But last year we had a lot of walks, and I think that's what really like set us down a little bit. But yeah, like she said, focusing on what we control, like what we can control. Like obviously we can control walks, like or hitting our spots as much as possible. So, but yeah.
So I'll let your egos talk first. Like, did you have a good whip? While you
Yes.
you had a good whip? Do you have a good whip? All right. And for people that don't know, whip is walk, hits, innings pitched. So they're out there, and that's one of the things. And we look at walk to strikeout ratio. Good? Oh, sorry. Good?
That's
Mine
what
was
we're
pretty
working
good.
on.
Okay, so I'm going to look at pitchers like we always do, because we're getting ready for a game right now. There's dominant pitchers that really can get those 13 to 14 strikeouts in a game. And if you meet a dominant pitcher, you're going to say, okay, you've got 4 good pitches. Fastball, maybe a rise, maybe a drop, maybe a screwball or a slurve. So tell me, what sort of pitches do you throw?
Mostly I just throw fastballs and rises, and I throw a couple changeups in there here and there, but mostly, I'm kind of going to give this away, I throw mostly fastballs. Just I work my corners, I work my highs and lows. I just work what I can work, and I can control that pretty well. So that's just my dominant.
But actually, in actuality, though, if you can hit your spots in the game, and if you throw in your spots and vary your speed just a little, not a lot, that's enough to not have a hitter sitting on a certain pitch.
Exactly, yes.
So when you say you're just a fastball pitcher, no, if you've got great control with high, low, in and out, it's very difficult.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you, your four pitches.
Gosh.
Oh, here we go. Junk pitcher.
My pitches are I throw curve, screw. My changeup is like my most dominant pitch, and I throw a drop, and I do throw a rise sometimes here and there. But my curve and my changeup are like my main pitches, and being that I'm a lefty, so it throws them off.
Which nobody really sees in softball. There's not that
We were
many
just
left-handed
talking about
pitchers in
that, too.
softball. I got to ask you, we won't tell any of the umpires out there that are watching it, but do either one of you sort of take a skip step or a crow's hop while you're on?
No.
No. They play by the rules, Ed,
do.
for it. There's no little, we won't tell anybody at Rancho Santiago over at Cypress College. Guys, you talked, and you brought up Cypress College, and we know the Picklers very well, and we followed their team. We get invited out there by the Picklers to call their game. Dominant softball program, to say the least.
Yes.
They get some real talented young women.
They do.
A lot of D1s that come back. So I'm going to ask both of you, what does this Fullerton College team need to do, coaches and around, so you're okay, you can tell me, to improve, to be able to play competitively against Cypress? And be honest with us.
I think Cypress does a really good job at jumping on the ball as soon as possible. Like, they come out very strong. They come out strong hitters. They don't wait for things to happen. They go and make things happen, and I think that's something that we definitely need to work on, like attacking that first pitch, not attacking her rise ball. Just being aggressive as much as possible, because that's what they input over there. And it's kind of hard to teach aggression, but it's something that can be worked on. So I think just with our Fullerton team, I think we can just work on being aggressive, like coming right off the bat and just being strong everywhere, just strong on the field, strong in the dugout, strong everywhere.
Like not waiting till the fourth, fifth inning to come out and score some runs. Like we should be able to come out and score the first inning, and then winning every inning. So meaning like we come out and score, and then we put up a 0. That I think that should be like our main goal going into them is trying to put up as much zeros as possible, especially as pitching. If we could hold them, that'll give us a better shot of winning the game.
Are you both good with the leather? I mean, I really find it very impressive when you have somebody in the circle that is good with the leather. I think that's very important. So are you both good with the leather?
Yeah, I think that's something we work on a lot in practice too. We'll take lots of reps at the mound and just make sure that we're ready for something that comes back at us. So we kind of just have fast reflexes when it comes to stuff like that because I don't want to get hit in the face.
And unlike that other sport with a bat and a ball where somebody can go out there and pitch on an every 4-day rotation, not like you ladies that'll throw 160 pitches and then come out the next day and throw 160 pitches. Your batting averages are pretty good, not like that guy that gets out there and says, my ERA is .45 for young guys that play baseball, and I can't hit over 119. You're both offensive threats for this Fullerton team.
Yes, I think we come out and when we get the opportunities, we try and make it happen as much as possible because we don't want to be that statistic of, oh, pitchers can't hit, pitchers can't field, pitchers can't do this. We work on hitting just as much as our other girls do, so it's just we take that and we take any opportunity that we can.
You know, I said that because the president of the college, his young men in his life play baseball. So I'm just balancing out before he gets on the air. You know, when you look at it, before I let you go, and this is my last question, so I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, no.
Somebody on SportsNetUSA.net, Ed Ford, always says that the ladies' game is more fundamentally sound than the men's game of baseball.
Yes.
I think so.
Whoa! So, ladies, tell me, and say it to the guys out there, do you really believe you play a more fundamentally sound, faster game, a more entertaining game than the game of baseball?
I think we do.
Yes. Okay, so
yes, we do.
anytime I were to watch baseball games, it's just they had a lot of time to think. In softball, I think it's such a fast pace that if you make that mistake, you have like 3 seconds to get back to what you were doing. And in baseball, you kind of have more time to think about, like, I just messed up, I just made an error. In softball, it's like if you make an error, you literally have 3 seconds just to come back and be like, okay, I'm going to get the next one. So that's same with pitching,
I think
too.
the energy level, too, is completely different for baseball.
definitely.
You know, we're always cheering in the dugout, losing our voices after the game.
Yeah.
But, definitely it's a quicker pace, and it just goes fast. Everything's fast. You have to be on the ball.
Well, ladies, I wish you a great season here in softball.
Thank
They've
you
already
so
come
much.
out and told you men, you think too slow, you stand by and don't do things well. There's a baseball player.
Hey.
We're quicker. We know how to make up for our mistakes. We're talented. We can pitch every day. He's a pitcher, so I can say this. We pitch every day. We throw 180 pitches and go out the next day and throw 180 more and 180 more. And if we're as fast as Michelle Granger on the major league level, we were throwing a fastball over 103 miles an hour. Michelle Granger struck out pro baseball players. Ladies, you are talented. You are student athletes. Your major is, before I let you go?
Kinesiology.
Your major is?
Nursing.
There you go. Student athletes, unlike many of the baseball players here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ms. Trujillo, Miss Bamer, I want to thank you both for coming out there.
Thank
We'll
you
be
so
out there
much.
for your softball games. It was a pleasure talking to you here on
Thank you so much.
SportsNetUSA.net.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
We're going to have Greg Schultz sneak over here in just a second. Greg, you want to come on over? I got my president of the college. Greg. We didn't have him last week. He was standing around. He was going to visit with us. So we were over there, and so Greg, you came up to visit with us last week, so I'm going to ask quickly, and I know Ryan Osborne's going to do an interview with you, but I just need to know now, if you can tell us, if possible, where we may stand to get closer to that Scherbeck Stadium, so maybe next year this championship game could be here on SportsNetUSA.net at Scherbeck Stadium at Fullerton College.
Scherbeck Field. Well,
Scherbeck Field.
Scherbeck Field, we are in the midst of an EIR process, an environmental impact report process for Scherbeck Field. We're about to conclude a campus-wide environmental impact on all the other projects. But we decided, after listening and working with community members, to separate it and do a separate, more detailed study of Scherbeck Field, the improvements we hope to be able to make to it, which would include adding lighting and seats, bleachers. But also, as these processes go, analyzing impact. And a part of that process is identifying alternatives to completing Scherbeck Field, the options.
Okay.
So where we're at in the timeline now is the study's being put together. We believe that in late January, we'll have the community meeting. There's always going to be a community meeting for campus constituents, community, neighbors, anyone who's interested, to learn more in print and live in a discussion about the proposed improvements. So certainly when that exact data set, we'll get lots of information out on that. But that's about where we're at.
Okay.
And so following a community meeting like that, that feedback is then taken into consideration. A final draft report is produced, shared publicly, and that would probably put us in mid to late summer to take the final recommendations to our Board of Trustees.
Okay.
So it's a process, but we're working with both campus constituents and community members, and it'll be exciting to see. And in either case, isn't it great to see our Hornets playing in late November?
It is. And I got to tell everybody, this is one of the nicest men you'd ever be around. He's got an open door policy. I walk in like I own the college, and he ever looks at me and goes, Mark, wait a minute. He's that nice of a man in there. I got to ask you, because I remember when Ed and I came out, you guys all spoke. We had the interim president. So been there. Your term is still at the beginning. How much fun have you had being president over at Fullerton College?
A ton of fun. You know, Denise and I went to school there. I'm class of 1989, but it's so great to come home, and the college has just continued to blossom with great faculty and staff, management team, and now we're in our 104th year at the college, and we're excited. The number of students who get to transfer from Fullerton College continues to grow. So we've had great transfer success. As you know, we have wonderful career tech ed programs.
Oh, yeah.
And those are growing. The state's beginning to invest more in career-focused programs.
Which is good.
Yes.
Which is good.
Yes. And at Fullerton College, we have more enrollments and more full-time equivalent students in career tech ed programs than any other community college in Orange and LA County. Many people don't know that.
Yeah.
But we know that. We're very proud of that.
Yeah, we are. And it's all because of gentlemen like him, the people that work with you, and the educators that are at Fullerton College.
I agree.
Okay, it's Corey Neyland. He's just taller and in a white shirt. Did you hear that? Yeah, I agree. I like that. I agree. I'm really the president of the college. He just fills in for me because he's got the PhD. That's it. So, but it's a pleasure always to have you here. I know we want
Always
to get you up quick. I'm going to let you get back there. And just I'm going to let you defend your sons. I mean, is baseball a more exciting game than softball? Put you on the spot. Your sons play baseball?
Boy, Scott would say yes. Scott would say for sure baseball.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to Hornet softball.
So
baseball.
am I. I think it's going to be great. Greg Schultz, president of the college at Fullerton College, one of the nicest men you'll meet. And I tell you what, if you ever have a question, he's going to agree with me on this. You have a problem, your door is open to any student or anybody that needs to walk into Fullerton to find out what's going on over there, right?
Absolutely.
There you go.
It's a community college, right?
It is, from the man himself.
Open
and
door.
If you have a problem, come over to KBPK, find me, and just follow me in there. And Greg will say, Mark, what do you want? Greg, thank you very much for everything. You are a heck of a gentleman. I love you as a person. I think you're a great president, and you are an outrageous representative of Fullerton College.
Thank you, Mark. Go Hornets.
Go Hornets. Greg Schultz, president of the college, as we get ready to start an exciting second half of community college football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Justin Manyweather at the 1. Looking to go up the middle. Justin Manyweather trying to get away. Oh, at the 45. Corey Neyland signaling touchdown in front of me as Greg walks away during the interview. Greg had a touchdown to my right. Corey had a touchdown to my middle. And Corey Neyland just says, oh, my goodness. Just got yanked down at the end for moments. Avery, I thought we were going to get Corey Neyland's prediction here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Well, he just barely got tugged on by his jersey, and he just couldn't slip away. Not slivery enough.
So Johnny Photo comes out. It's the Hornets 41, the Tigers 16 here on SportsNetUSA.net. That's right. Whoever wins today plays for the state championship in Northern California. Photo comes out looking for somebody. Here comes the pressure. Photo throws it across the middle of the field. Justin Manyweather turned around the wrong way. Incomplete pass. Don't forget, all of our games here on SportsNetUSA.net are brought to you by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Miller Toyota of Anaheim is a proud sponsor of high school sports, community college sports, but most of all, education. That's Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Second down and 10 at the 45. I think he was going to make it to you, threw your hands up, and then Justin Manyweather looked up here to wave back, Corey Neyland. Johnny Photo brings him back out. Photo hands it off to Hewlett. Hewlett across the middle, gets hit, refuses to go down, finally does, goes down to 49. Tough little runner. Gerald Hewlett up the middle of the field. Well, I know you're still catching your breath, so that's okay. Brings up a 3rd down. And 5. Wilson comes out wide to the right. Richardson goes out wide to the left. Justin Manyweather in the slot on the left-hand side. Hewlett now goes from right to left. Photo feels the pressure, almost gets them to jump. They reline. We're going to get illegal procedure against the Hornet because of Justin Manyweather saw them coming, Corey. He stepped backwards and reset. That moves them back 5 yards. Hornets 41, Riverside 16. That's right. We're in the second half. The start of the second half here at Whittier College. The home of the poets. Yes, I did a haiku while you were gone.
It was amazing, by the way.
Photo looks over the defense. They're trying to see who's coming. Riverside says up the middle. Hewlett picks up one. Photo throws it. He throws it to who else? Mr. Wilson. Sure hands. Big play. Big play Wilson brings it in for a 1st down. Next time around, you run that old
Hook and ladder.
hook and ladder, Corey Neyland's telling me. Photo brings them back up, 1st down and 10 at the 40. Photo goes back. Again, the protection's good. He goes to Wilson down the middle of the field. He runs underneath and lays out. Catch. Oh, big play isn't enough for him. Look at him down there. He says, that's me. Feed me. Feed me.
Here's your replay. Watch big play Wilson stretch out a little bit, thrown to his back shoulder out of bounds. Make sure he has the ball and feet down, had both feet down for the reception.
Photo says, I'm going to take it myself. Nobody wants to tackle me. Gets across the 10, down to the 7.
And that's one of those things. As a receiver, you love a quarterback like Johnny Photo. I'm going to throw you the ball. I'm going to give you a chance to catch that ball. Go get it.
And Wilson seems to do it in the last 2 games. Photo looks over. Hewlett still the deep setback. Wilson out wide to the right. They come up. They hand it off to Gerald Hewlett. Gerald Hewlett stumbles when he hits the 5, down to the 3, looking for another touchdown. Corey, I know you've got the stats. We'll get them in a second. As the Hornets have a 3rd down and goal. Photo says, let's run the option play. Pitches it to Hewlett. We get a flag on the outside. Usually that's where there's a holding call against the offensive line. They're going to bring it back.
Yeah, we saw that coming from a mile away. Defensive lineman for Riverside did a pirouette. That was Hunter Huhuli. And that's Muhammad Jefferson with the hands to the face. So it's not just 10, but it's 15 yards. And the option play has been working well for the Hornets today, whether on the keeper or pitching it out to Gerald Hewlett.
Well, we've seen it with them coming down. The weather's nice out. It's cooled down a little here at Poet Field. Sun setting behind us. Again, whoever wins this game will head to Northern California to play for the state championship. Wilson comes out wide to the right. Richardson goes out wide to left. Robert Downs the 3rd in the slot on the left-hand side with Justin Manyweather. Johnny Photo comes over to the sideline during the discussion where they're going to see where they mark the ball at. So we have timeout on the field with 12:26 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
I was going to talk, but they look like they want to keep on going. So
yeah, and now they're going to move it back.
So is it a 10-yard penalty or a 15-yard penalty?
They said from the spot of foul, I thought it was a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
So they must have said the spot of the foul was a 3-yard line.
Yeah,
but
is what they must have said then.
Okay.
So it's 3rd and goal from the 18. Photo goes back, gets it picked up. Johnny Photo across middle field, touchdown, Justin Manyweather. Wow.
Ring the alarm. That's a nice post pattern right there because Justin Manyweather in the slot did a nice little skinny, what you call a skinny post. And Johnny Photo.
Lighten it up, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Watch the replay here. Knew where he wanted to go all along. Puts it on a nice strike. He got 2 steps and in motion. That's a pretty play.
Johnny Photo just saying, excuse me, move me up the food chain.
And Avery, in the immortal words of Sidney Dean, so pretty. so pretty.
Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. With 12:21 to go, well, the lead becomes a little wider. It's the Hornets 48, Riverside 16 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey Neyland didn't really have the stats, so I'm going to let you try to give us some while we're sitting there right now. So go ahead, Corey.
Johnny Photo now 7 of 10 for 112 yards. And somebody's got to go tell Nick Fuscardo that was Justin Manyweather on the catch, not Kari Henley. We nominate Richie Melgoza. Gerald Hewlett in that first half, 16 carries, 164 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's not a bad afternoon. Ladarius Skelton, 8 for 38 and 2 touchdowns. Now Photo has that touchdown to go along 112 yards. Marcus Grossman, 2 catches. Downs, 2 catches. Wilson, 2 catches for 32, 25, and 35 respectively. Now Justin Manyweather has 2 receptions for 30 yards and that touch there.
So they've moved it around. So the Hornets increasingly, Corey, I'll let you talk about Riverside too. We didn't get to them when they get ready for offense. A little pooch kick in the middle of the field. Everybody sort of looks at it. Taken right there by Holcomb. Holcomb looks to go to the outside. Cuts the middle. Gets away from one. Gets across the 37 to about the 38-yard line.
And in that first half for Riverside, you had Vic Viramontes really been held in check. 13 for 24, 182, 2 touchdowns. But here's where he's been held in check so far. 9 carries, 1 yard.
Wow.
No touchdowns.
Wait, say that again?
9 carries for 1 yard.
Viramontes?
Yes. In that first half, they rushed 16 times for 39 yards. And coming into the game, they're averaging 290.
Justin Murphy comes out wide to the left with Sims over there. Viramontes looking to go deep, throws across the middle of the field, takes it on the money. Ball comes out. Sims trailing the play. Goes to get down on it. Does he come up with it? The Hornets have the football.
And that's Caleb Johnson who comes up with it. And was that David Farmer or Taj? I couldn't tell who knocked it away. Here's the replay. And that was Taj Jones who knocked it away. Caleb Johnson comes up with it. Fullerton College did a nice play after Justin Murphy had a nice catch and run.
Rolling on the field.
Caleb Johnson,
Pass with a fumble. Recovered.
7 tackles in the first half.
First down.
1.5 sack. 2.5 tackles for loss. And a forced fumble. And now a fumble recovery.
What was that you said, Mark?
Turnovers? What'd we say this
You
game
called
would
it-
be predicted on?
Hey, you called it last game, too.
Linebackers, turnovers, and man.
Darius Skelton comes in. Hewlett's still at the running back. We've got an entire second half, and we know this Fullerton team doesn't believe in letting anybody have an opportunity. Skelton goes back. It's time to throw. Going deep. Looking to throw it out there. Almost gets it incomplete. Wilson thought he had it.
Yeah, Gillette did a nice job. Again, sticking his hand out just at the last moment to knock out the pass. And he's had a decent first half with 3 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. 2 pass breakups now. Devin Charles had a sack and 2 tackles. Leading tackler was Devonair Crenshaw with 4.
And you see Ladarius Skelton, when he gets time and decides who he's going to, has a nice arm when he throws the ball. Richardson out wide to the left. Wilson out wide to the right. Manyweather in the slot on the left-hand side. Hewlett in the backfield. Ladarius Skelton runs this direction. Hewlett looks to make a black block. Doesn't. We get a flag on the play. That should be against the Hornets.
Take your pick. James Stanton, Delton Crandall, Rashad Harris, Jacob Jankowiak, or Mohammed Jefferson. I know at least 2 of those had a hold.
Shout out to our president, Dr. Greg Schultz. Dr. Greg Schultz. Walking in front of you guys right there.
Richie Melgoza coming over.
Offense number 69. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
That's Delton's second penalty call today.
Correction. The penalty is declined. Third down.
So he stays with 1.
So they decline it. It's going to bring a 3rd down and 10, and you hope this doesn't slow the game down as we see Riverside parents again starting to pack things up since the Hornets got on the board one more time. Ladarius Skelton looks over. They're playing man-to-man. Skelton trying to run, gets the outside, goes to the left, now throws it there across at the 42. 1st down, running against the pressure and throwing across his body for a pitch and catch.
You see that? Well, you see why they like him at that next level with the athleticism and the arm. If he can get that laser perfection, I mean, he's going to be really dangerous.
Comes out quickly. Here comes the pressure. Throws up again. Looking to go to Justin Manyweather. Incomplete pass down the sideline.
And that's where that repetition and precision needs to come into play because he had Manyweather wide open. Good throw. That's a 1st down.
2nd down and 10. Spencer Owens comes in the game. Malik Abdul Haq comes in with Marcus Grossman. Spencer stays close here on this side of the field at tight end. Malik Abdul Haq goes wide side of the field with Marcus Grossman. 2nd down and 10 at the 42. Skelton looks over the defense. Hewlett in the backfield with him. They fake it to Gerald Hewlett. Skelton tries to pick up his feet. Can't. Gets taken down. Slides safely into second base. Runner in scoring position.
Skelton saw a phantom hole come in right there, and there's a good field by Eric Wilson and Devin Charles. Skelton had a crease. It closed quickly.
Robert Downs III comes out. Wilson far right. Robert Downs III in the slot. Malik Abdul Haq out wide to the left. Marcus Grossman in the slot. Hewlett in the backfield. Grossman goes in motion from left to right. Skelton throws this direction, throws it to Marcus Grossman, who gets vivisected at the 45-yard line.
And Grossman is down. Good play on the outside. That's not a cheap hit. It's a good play, and it was a bad throw by Skelton. Grossman is up under his own power.
And Corey, fortunately, you're in the air on that one because when you get hit like that and you get bent backwards, your feet aren't locked into the ground.
Yeah.
So Riverside makes a stop with 10:45 to go here at the beginning of the 2nd half. It's the Hornets 48, Riverside 16. Riverside looking for magic in a bottle, end over end. It's going to hit at the 25. Kick forward, cross the 20. They're going to down it at the 19. With 10:34 to go. Well, that's right. It's Fullerton College, 48. Riverside City College, 16. You are watching the SCFA championship game here on Sportsnet USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ed Ford, Jordan Avery down there. Richie Melgoza. Jordan Avery. Did I get it wrong? Avery Jordan.
Every
I'm
time.
sorry. Whatever your name is.
Every time.
Pink Pony down on the camera. Avery
Savage,
Jordan.
Mark.
Avery Johnson.
AJ.
Avery Jackson. JJ.
Cameraman.
Cameraman.
Camera guy.
Camera guy. Viramonte says, I don't know either. Somebody help me. I'll take all 4 of them as he turns the corner on the right side. Gets out of bounds after a gain of 5. Rich and Avery, they are the voices of the Coaches Show here on SportsNetUSA.net. Been around the Hornets all year long.
Darius Skelton now 7th all-time for a single season in rushing for the Hornets.
They'll be down on the sidelines. Make sure you watch the Coaches Show. They'll have a little sideline interviews going for next week. Viramontes looks over. 2nd down and 5 for Riverside at the 24. Viramontes says, get back where you belong. And we're going to get timeout. So with timeout on the field, 9:47 to go. Confusion abound, be it Avery, myself, Corey, or anybody in the grandstands, even the Riverside team. With 9:47 to go, it's the Hornets 48, the Tigers 16.
And Gerald Hewlett now with this first half, 800 yards rushing on the season. And don't forget, guys, there's a game coming up at 6 o'clock. The winner of this game will go ahead and play the winner of the College of San Mateo, who's 10-1, against last year's playoff or state championship participant, American River, who's also 10-1. College of San Mateo beat, how do you say that word, Siskiyous?
Siskiyous.
52-3 last week. And they have the state's most efficient passers in Akina and Kendrick. Miles Kendrick is dynamic. When you watch Miles Kendrick
wait
play,
a minute. Avery, have we not heard that about every team that's played the Hornets?
We have.
This guy is dynamic.
Every week, especially last week.
No, San Mateo, Miles Kendrick, you go ahead and watch film on these guys. They are just a team that is fast. It looks like it's a track team out there. They just score and run and hit.
That's what Viramontes wants right now, a track team as he goes down to his knee at the 20.
Cameron Proctor gets credited for the sack. And when you talk about American River, they may have one of the best linebackers in the nation in Rashawn York. He's definitely going to be an All-American. 87 tackles, 3 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, and an interception. He's one of those guys as a freshman last year, dominated this year, doing the same.
Viramontes, big third down play. Viramontes is going to get swallowed. Oh, Viramontes.
It's actually going to be Travis Johnson now. So Travis Johnson is
he
a guy.
comes in, so Viramontes comes out. So it's fourth down.
And in high school, Travis Johnson, that was Travis Waller. He went to Servite, went up to Oregon, bounced back down to Riverside.
So the defense comes up. Justin Manyweather sneaks up, little guys. Justin Manyweather is saying 1 for Corey Neyland.
Oh, you don't have to get another one all season. He's good.
Feels like a charity. 1 for Corey.
2 would be nice.
2 for Corey. Justin stands at the 45. It's been all Hornets. It's the Hornets 48. The Tigers 16 here on SportsNetUSA.net. The middle. Takes a bounce. Justin Manyweather lets it roll by him, and it gets a great bounce for Riverside all the way down to the 21-yard line.
Manyweather's upset at himself because he realizes I could have just called for a fair catch and got it.
Another 60-yard punt.
Yeah.
Here on SportsNetUSA.net. You know, we were talking about some of the players of the past. Of course, Jordan Hoy, who left Fullerton, hasn't played a lot this past year.
He's played a lot. Hasn't done much this year for Old Dominion. But he's played. I mean, he's had his chances, and he just hasn't found his groove over there back east.
DeAndre McNeil will be playing in the Conference USA Championship game.
Decent season this year. Had a long reception of 66 yards is his longest this year.
Javon Burse is red-shirting along with his partner. They run it straight up the middle. Take it up to the 25. One of the guys that we always talk about, well, D'Angelo Ross over at New Mexico. Leads cornerbacks and tackles with 22, has 11 punt returns, and is in the top 3 in his conference. Like Corey Neyland says, if that young man was 6'2", he'd be an All-American.
No. If he was 5'11", he'd be an All-American.
on any D1 national program. Darius Skelton brings it out. Hewlett's still in the backfield. Hornets 48. Riverside 16. Riverside coming up. Ladarius Skelton looking to go there. Throws to Richardson. Richardson has it hit his hands and bounce off. Marshall Evans is redshirting at Nevada. Quentin Yance over at Texas Tech has 22 tackles, 2 sacks, and 3 tackles for losses this year. Tim Gordon is redshirting at Memphis. Jamal Scott has got 3.5 sacks for his team. Anthony Woods at Minnesota Duluth. He leads the team in rushing at Minnesota Duluth. Straight up the middle on a nice little dive play. Out to the 30, just short of a first down. Tyler Stepney and Xavier Chisholm, they're both at Murray State. Stepney was second on the team in sacks, but then he broke his arm.
And Jamal Scott is down up there at San Jose State. Jamal Scott about 3.5 sacks on the season. He's doing a nice job up there at San Jose State.
Yeah.
They wanted to tell me, Mark, down there in Arkansas,
Arkansas,
they say hello. Ladarius Skelton's mom says, hey, likes what she sees out there.
Oh, he's played, you know what? And your son's such a nice young man. We've had the pleasure of talking to him. He hasn't done a lot of interviews with us. He doesn't want to do that, but we get to talk to him privately. What a great young guy you have in your life. He is just a special individual, and we wish nothing but the best for his future in the game of football and academically. We get a flag, and we're going to get a flag against Riverside, Corey, and it's real interesting because what happened is Javon Fagaro was walking by the official. I want to see if that's who they threw the flag at, and he thinks it is. He said something to the official. As soon as he did, the official threw the flag in the air. So let's see if we get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against the Tigers. And it might be at that game when it's 48-16, you might say, what are you going to do, give them all the breaks? And an official finally says, that's it.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that's what the call is going to be.
You know, I got some relatives down in Arkansas. Shirley goes down there when she hits Tennessee.
Oh, they called it on someone else.
Dixon Smith.
Wow.
And she says she'll be out here.
Really?
Yeah, I hope so. That next game is a championship game in Sacramento if Fullerton takes the victory here today.
So Riverside. So Viramonte's back in at quarterback. Might have stepped out just for a second. Viramonte's looking to go something. Goes down the middle of the field. Picked off at the 50. Another turnover at the 30. The 20. The 10. Touchdown, Fullerton College.
What can Taj do for you? Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones.
Another turnover in the game.
There it is, Mark.
And there's you see the replay there. He went up in the air. He had 2 last year against American River, 5 on the season. That is number 3 for Taj Jones this season. I thought it was 4. And Taj always wants to score when he gets that pick. He was waiting for a pick six all season long.
Hornets going to go for 2. Ladarius Skelton says, can I start anytime? The official gives him the signal. Corey, I'm going to let you go back to that Ladarius Skelton up the middle, 2-point conversion. Go back to Taj Jones. We talked to Taj's dad, who's just a nice man, but talk about Taj Jones.
You saw it on the replay. You saw he went in the air. It seems like his picks, every quarterback thinks he's beat. His leaping ability is phenomenal. I mean, he went up in the air, caught it, had the presence of mind to come down, catch his feet, and the first thing he does is look towards the end zone. And he had good blocking downfield. That's the pick 6 that they wanted, they needed. And it just does dynamic things and inspires and infuses your team.
You know, now, Avery, now you understand why SportsNetUSA.net is the voice for Fullerton College football, because we know so much about this team that if they do what we talk about, when they do it, the game's in their victory house. And that's what's happened today. It has been a game where we talked about it earlier. If you get the turnovers, Avery was down on the field with us. We were talking about the coaches of that. Phil Lawson said, yeah, we should get at least 1. But, Corey, you hate to say it every year, you could be prolific, but it just seems like this defense from Brian Crooks shows itself when it needs to.
If the game continues like this, we'll talk about what we saw at the beginning of the season.
To now.
Yeah, to what we see now. This, at the beginning of the season, would have been 6 the other way.
Yep. We get a flag. Delay of game. I have never seen that flag on a kickoff.
On a kick? You can
have you?
That? You can do that?
Yeah, because the play clock runs.
Yeah, once. Now twice. Well, we saw this at the beginning of the season, that play would have been a touchdown for Riverside,
the other way,
or at least a long gainer. The defensive secondary has now played that scheme. Okay, where you should be. They had Jacob Jones up front, deep. Taj Jones underneath. It had to be a perfect throw. It wasn't a perfect throw.
And that defensive line that you've talked about again and again and again has put so much pressure on the quarterbacks that they don't have time to reload.
It has carried this defensive unit to this point. When they were struggling in the second level, the defensive line was not. When they were making big plays, the defense line was leading the charge. When they needed big plays last week, it was a defensive line who stepped up.
Re-kick the ball. High floater. Taken at the 10, looking to get up to the 20. Up to the 25, going to get taken down there. Let's stick with this theme as the defense gets ready to come on there, though, because you talked about the defense. The linebackers don't get talked about. Much maligned.
The first 5 games they shouldn't have, because it was, to quote Wildcats from 1986, UGLY, it was just ugly at the linebacking position. But they have played Roy Otto, Cody Darrow, and Caleb Johnson to step their game up to be formidable, to be those guys to make plays. Right there, you see those guys up front.
Handed off the middle, gain of 7.
And you saw on that side, Montre Bonner is going to be the Defensive Player of the Year. Roy Otto is a guy who struggled and has found his groove. He'll be all conference, same as Jacob Jones, second team. Joey Noble may be the most versatile defensive player they have, and Jamichael Moore is just one of those guys that you want to be around.
Second down and 4. Viramontes throws it out to Ushin. He takes it right there at the 30. Gets across the 30. They're going to mark him down to 35. We've got a flag behind the play.
Shane Darso has his helmet off, and it looks like he was mixed up with the tight end. Yeah. Yeah, Shane Darso.
That's the second one?
And so Shane Darso, when you kick a player or throw a punch, you're automatically ejected.
So he's taken out of the game. They move it up to the 50. We're at 5:38 to go. Here in the third quarter, it's the Hornets 56, the Tigers 16.
Yeah, and you saw those 5 guys, those key players on defense for the Hornets. It is one of those things that they grew into themselves. They grew into football players this season at the right time.
Stith comes out here on the left-hand side as a wide receiver. Holcomb in the slot on the left-hand side. Viramontes at quarterback. Looks over there. Stith has 2 catches all year. I got someone new in the game. Matt Struck now in at quarterback for Riverside. So Riverside now has Matt Struck in the game.
Out of Crater, Oregon.
So we get a false start. That's Stith who came in. The wide receiver moves a little too quickly.
Reset that defense for you. Kerry Walker going from near side to far side. Oscar Bergueno, Omar Gonzalez, and Joey Noble up front.
Struck looks over, goes back, runs away from the pressure. Struck gets driven out of bounds. He gets up to the 42 down there.
That's Cole McCarty on the sack. His 2.5 sacks now on the season. He's in the linebacker along with Cody Darrow and Devin Hessler. No, excuse me, that's Ryan Simpson.
Second down and 15. Struck, throws it. Nice little catch thrown right there. And that was Marshall. He's now in as a wide receiver.
Who's been quiet.
Yeah.
And now the secondary, Jay Brown comes in for DeJuan Dorsey. On the far side, Davian Bullock, the near side corner. David Farmer, 31, near side, and Kari Henley, far side.
Stith and Holcomb down here at the left side. Struck, feels it from behind. Struck gets dragged down from behind. Ball comes out, but they're going to call him down.
And that's Devin Hessler from the backside. He swooped on in on the right side. He hesitated as also because he thought the play was going to be dead and throw it away. He did a nice job of coming through, and he's done a nice job for that second unit backing core.
So that's going to bring up a 4th down for Riverside. 4 minutes, 17 seconds here in the third quarter.
And Mark, Cameron Powell's not even playing today, and he had 2 big picks last week.
Justin Manyweather at the 16. Sun setting here at Whittier College. Ball bounces Riverside gets it away, end over end. Justin Manyweather's going to look. It's going to hit at the 20. Not going to get grabbed by him. They're going to roll it out of bounds right at the 2.
His second punt inside the 5 today.
So with 3:50 to go in the third quarter, well, if you're a Hornet fan, it's been all Hornets. It's the Hornets 56, the Tigers 16 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
This was not the game I was expecting, gentlemen.
Nope, absolutely not.
No, I didn't either. I thought this was going to be a close, maybe 28-21 football game.
Well, I remember I went to the game last year in the rain, and that was much more stressful than this one was.
It's because it was raining.
Ed Ford looking at me and going, you don't want to hear about the rain game. No more rain game. No more rain game. You know, and really when you think about it, Corey, if you're Riverside now, the one team you don't want to see in the playoffs anymore is Fullerton College.
This is the 4th time in, is it 8 years? No.
Yeah. Johnny Photo says, I'm going to run. Watch me turn the corner. Corey Neyland, look at that speed. I got up to the 9-yard line.
He's trying to show you, Corey. He can run.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how strong I am because there's shade up here, and I'm trying to think if I want to lift 120 pounds.
Wait a minute. You lift more than that every day when you get out of bed.
Yeah, that's true. But that's easy.
Oh, okay. 2nd down and 4 for the Hornets at the 10.
That was just mean.
Photo at quarterback. Hewlett, the deep setback. Richardson out wide to the right. Wilson out wide to left. They hand it off to Hewlett. Hewlett goes across, gets up to the 15. They're going to move the chains. First down for the Hornets.
Hewlett closing in on 200 yards rushing. I don't know how the playoff record is for rushing games or rushing yards in a game.
Photo tries to get Riverside to jump. 3-minute mark here in the third quarter. Wilson says, I'm one-on-one. He's looking at Johnny Photo. I'm one-on-one. Throw it to me. They run the option the other directions. They pitch it to Hewlett. He turns the corner, stays on his feet, runs out of bounds, another 10 yards on the play. So Gerald Hewlett, 5 yards here, 7 yards there, 10 yards there, just running down the field today saying, Mr. Pavlovich, I told you, let me touch the ball 20 times, and I'll get you good 100-plus yards.
20 times a day, getting 200.
Oh, well, that's what I mean, though. This young man has done that. Photo brings him back up. Richardson out wide to the right. Robert Downs the third in the slot on the right. Justin Manyweather next to him. Wilson the far side of the field. Hewlett the running back. Photo looks over the defense. Hands it off to Gerald Hewlett. Gerald Hewlett goes right up the middle. Gain of 3.
So rushing yards in a playoff game is not listed in the record book. So like we've been doing all season long, I'm going to just say.
You can.
It's got to be close unofficially as a record.
Photo goes back looking for somebody. Has time to throw. Double clutches, middle of the field. Throws it to Mr. Wilson. Big time Wilson. Big play Wilson says, I got it. Let me keep running. He gets across the 50 for another first down. This young man runs a beautiful route, catches the ball with his hands, brings it in. Avery, you've interviewed him. What an infectious smile this kid has when you're talking to him, too.
And he's got great energy, Mark.
First down and 10 at the 50. They almost jump. Photo gets them then. We're going to get illegal procedure. It should be against the Hornets on a false snap. They're going to call that against the center.
But he's got great energy and he's got great football IQ, Wilson does. As you can see in the interview that we had, we should probably have him on again next week because it looks like it was his good luck charm.
Guys, you know what Gerald Hewlett did do today, though? Tied the single-season record for touchdowns scored at 17 with Kelvin York.
First down and 15 for the Hornets. Photo looks over the defense, still has Hewlett in the backfield. He runs the option with Hewlett again. This time Johnny Photo at the 50. Johnny Photo at the 40. Johnny Photo shouldn't have stopped. He starts. He's looking for help. Cuts back at the 10, the 5. Sidesteps, touchdown Photo.
Hold that, Corey.
It's at 55 yards. Well, Johnny Photo, he does
There
more.
it is. Watch this, Corey. Watch when he stops.
Hold that,
Okay,
Corey.
oops. My bad.
Let me stop.
My bad.
Oh, Corey Neyland, where are you?
Excuse me. No, excuse me.
You're not there, Corey. Is that? Oh, touchdown, Johnny Photo.
And did you notice the block by Muhammad Jefferson?
I did.
That was a violent collision. I'm glad.
And Richardson was down the field leading it, too.
And I'm just glad both of them got up and walked away. But you know who can't walk away?
You.
No.
Oh. Ball is spotted. Kick is up, and the kick is good.
Those three defensive backs whose jock straps are still on the ground somewhere. I think they're going to be used as a memento. Here lies what Johnny Photo did to the Riverside secondary.
All I can say to the Photo family, if you need to send somebody an email, just contact me. I'll give you his email, and you can contact him personally here on Sportsnet.USA. Want to thank our softball players for doing the interviews. We had a great thank you, ladies. We'll be out there to watch you play this year on SportsNetUSA.net.
Man, that was nice.
When he stopped, I figured, oh, Johnny, what do you do? There you go.
See, Mark, that's what happens.
Avery, that was like an Olay,
yeah,
wasn't
he
it?
said, excuse me, you first.
You know?
See, Mark, young people can do that.
An Olay?
No, stop and then move forward again.
Oh, I know. If I stopped that, I said, where's the recliner? I can't get any further. And so the Hornets now are at 63-16, and we still have a fourth quarter to go. What is the playoff record for points scored?
We've had an 85-yard run and a 55-yard run.
High kickoff. Taken at the 10. At the 22, a decleater. And, of course, when you look at that, Corey, I mean, that was a tackle made by who? Malik Abdul-Haq. Not only has he caught it, not only is he on special teams, not only can he run when he catches the ball, but he can tackle when he needs to as a special team player.
You know, they don't have most points. They don't differentiate for playoff games. So I'm going to say this is a record. For playoff games, most points scored of 63.
Are you starting a new printing division, Ed, so you can start selling the Corey Neyland Book of Records here on SportsNetUSA.net? Corey says, record. Viramontes comes out and says, this isn't the comeback I was thinking about. Goes across the middle of the field, taken right down there up to the 50. So Viramontes finally gets the ball, looking for his big tight end. And that was Brandom. Across the middle of the field as a tight end gets all the way out to the 48-yard line.
I do know the most rushing yards in a game was 541. That was 2013.
Noah Gutierrez out wide to left. Holcomb out wide to the right. Brandon the tight end. Viramontes goes back. Viramontes gets hit again in the backfield.
And that's Kerry Walker. Walker out of Texas, Shoemaker High School. And they set a record. Actually, no, that's not the most points because remember they played College of the Canyons in Bakersfield for that playoff game, the Golden Empire Bowl game. And that was, I think they put up 60. No, they might have put up 63 in that one also.
Yeah, because that's where we're at right now. Second down and 10, Viramontes. Here comes the pressure. Viramontes, they just have a jailbreak on Viramontes, and he is down on the surface again. Corey, we saw the Ventura game, but you look at this Fullerton team, and you think about Ventura, and you say, wow. You know, Riverside, you thought you had it coming. We got told, I wish Rashawn Haylock was with us right now because we might look at him and say, Rashawn, still the best quarterback? Viramontes says one more time, going deep down the side of the field. Does he overshoot? Does. Lay out flat, pulled in. Oh, what a catch by Sutton. Cam Sutton lays out. I tell you what, Avery, you love a young man that does something like that lays out flat for his quarterback.
Watch the replay here. Viramontes lays it out perfectly, and Sutton was there. He was covered. Conati was there, but look at that. Laid out for it. Sutton brings it back in. You see the talent they have on this team.
And the no-quit attitude by this Riverside squad heading into the fourth quarter. He looks for Sutton again. They're fighting along the sidelines, pushing over there. And I like Corey. There was no call by the official. Both the defender and the offensive player had their hands on each. Avery, you saw that. I like the fact there's no flag on the play.
I just want to say I really do. Tom Duff.
Oh, miss him. Tom Duff would be having a ball right now, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would. And he would correct me on all these official records.
You know, you sort of wonder if there's that divine intervention going on right now. Sutton goes out wide to the left. Viramonte says, well, let's try it one more time. Sutton goes up, intercepted in the end zone. Another turnover. Can we get that 100-yard run? Let's watch. Come back the other direction. Up the middle. Need one more block. Take it down at the 49. Avery Johnson.
Jordan.
I don't care what his name is anymore. No, that's Avery Johnson over there now. Avery Jordan went home.
Avery, that was Ibrahim Kanadi with his first interception of the season.
Number 38. Number 38.
Number 38. You called it, Mark. You said interceptions and turnovers would be the big deal, and that's definitely given them enough time and enough space to jump out on this Tiger team.
And you saw the end of the replay. He was looking to score.
He was.
But what was most impressive about it is the way he fended off as Richie Melgoza, as he fended off the bigger receiver in Cam Sutton and went up with one hand and brought it back down. We're going to get Richie to ask Phil Thurman if he remembers the score when Fullerton played College of the Canyons in the Golden Empire Bowl. I think it was 2000, I don't know, about 6-7 years ago.
You know, Avery, it would have been sad if he'd run it back because there was a penalty on the play.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have counted.
Yeah, it would have. It was on Riverside.
Well, if Fullerton keeps playing like this, we might see a record
Why did
broken
he call
today.
it on? He called it on defense. Then it should have been on the offense.
If it was a block in the back.
So they called it on Riverside. Amazing, they did call it on Riverside. I thought they had
How does
called
that
it
work?
at Fullerton. So Infante Eckford now in the game for the Hornets. So we head towards that fourth quarter as we click on down. And Avery, for all this year that I've called you wrong last name, I'm going to apologize. I'm just going to call you Avery from now on because it doesn't matter. I'm going to get his last name with, what's your name?
Avery Johnson.
Avery.
Avery.
Ivory Johnson.
Ivory.
So, Jake, just call him what Gabby calls him.
What's that?
Ivory.
Ivory. So Ivory on camera. We come to the end of the third quarter, and as we come to the end of the third quarter, well, it's the Hornets 63, Riverside 16. You've been watching the CCCAA, the Southern California Football Association Championship game with Ivory, Ebony, and Old Man here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Guys, I think I can say that Fullerton is going to go to Sacramento in 2 weeks. Unless there's a complete breakdown of the likes we have never seen
That's
or
a
anyone's
super
ever
hot
Oh,
take.
you know what?
That's
If that
a super hot
happens,
take.
you'll be carrying Gabby on your shoulder and just not even turning back and looking at anybody because you'll be. And you know what? You won't even be struggling. You'll be so ticked off, you'll run to the car.
And the shade has finally descended on the stands, and everybody lets out a collective.
Oh. Johnny Photo with an Infante Eckford in the backfield. Johnny razzled and dazzled Corey Neyland on a 50-yard run last time out.
It was amazing.
Photo hits at Eckford, who stutter steps at the line of scrimmage, gets a gain of 5 on the play.
Eckford out of Cypress, but this Cypress is in Texas. Cypress Springs High School. Eckford has 2 touchdowns on the season. No, 1 touchdown.
No, he's got 2.
No, he's got 2.
Yeah, he's got 2. Longest run this year is 50 yards.
6.6 yards per carry.
They come up at the corner. Photo looks back over. And again, this is a Hornet team that has been taught just to play football. So they're not trying to run up the score, Corey. They're just playing football.
Bump and run coverage.
They run it to Eckford. Eckford stumbles through, gets crossed, keeps going. Down past the 25 to 24, first down.
Yeah, watch a slant pattern, or if Eckford can get to that second level, he's gone because you see Riverside now bringing 8 in the box, try to stop the run, try to get the ball back.
Richardson out wide to the right. Fleming in the slot on the right-hand side. Photo tries to get him to jump. Spencer Owen tight end on the left-hand side. Malik Abdul Haq now steps in a couple feet closer, out wide to the left. They run the option. Johnny Photo says, I am so quick, watch this one. Steps out of bounds. We get a flag right where Owens was at, Corey. They're probably going to call holding against him or a low block.
Or a 2-point takedown, because that's exactly what he did. And, guys, Vincent Narvaez is in the ball game at the left guard, and I want to thank his mom for the easy up.
Oh, she's been a sweetheart, hasn't she?
Yes, she has. Erlington Jones is the left tackle. No, make that Jacob Jankowiak is the left tackle. Erlington Jones came out for Jankowiak. Rashad Harris still at the center. Delton Crandall is the right tackle and right guard. And the right tackle actually is Erlington Jones.
Richardson out wide to the left. Hawk out wide to the right. Photo in a shotgun formation. Goes back. Looks, has time to throw. Steps up across the middle of the field. Malik Abdul Haq pulls it in again.
And he's his second reception. And it's one of those guys that he doesn't get a lot of balls thrown to him, but when he does, he's making those receptions. He's making those catches.
Second and about a half a foot for the Hornets. Right at the 15. They hand it. Photo fakes it up the middle. Gets a first down. They're going to take it down to the 11. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. 12:49 to go. This is where Corey Neyland says, this was high school football. Keep cranking that clock.
You know, Fullerton's pitching another shutout in the second half.
And Brian Crooks' defense has stepped up. Brian said, just don't be trailing any plays. And Corey, they haven't. They've been in front of almost every play today against this Riverside team.
Yeah, you saw that first drive with Riverside easily going down the field. Fullerton got behind him, but that's about it.
I formation. Straight up the middle. Eckford keeps it. Gets down to the 5. Following Sanchez, the lead block. Very rarely do we see a fullback in the game for the Hornets. Daniel Sanchez is that right now. Gain of 4 on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 6 at the 9-yard line. The Hornets 63. The Tigers 16 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
I think I'm going to get home and watch the NorCal final.
I formation. Sanchez the up back. Eckford the deep setback. Photo under center. Eckford gets swallowed up in the backfield.
Devin Charles is there, and Devin Charles has had a nice game today. That's his 2nd tackle for loss, and he's had 6 tackles total.
That NorCal game starts at 6, right, Corey?
Yes, it does. Yep.
So Xavier Green comes in. Malik Abdul Haq goes out wide to the right. Wilson comes down here wide to the left. Xavier Green is now in as a wide receiver in the slot on the left-hand side. Robert Downs III in the slot on the right-hand side. Eckford, the deep setback. 3rd down and 9. Fonte Eckford gets hit at the line of scrimmage, gets across the 10, down to the 9. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 8 for the Hornets.
Interesting call. Do they want to go for the field goal?
No. I think they're going to see if they can run it in. Photo quickly brings him back out the line of scrimmage. Looks over. 10 minutes to go in this game. All Fullerton.
Xavier Green's got a slant open if he wants it.
Green in the slot on the left-hand side. Photo goes back. Ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage, almost picked up, and that's going to be a turnover on downs for Riverside.
Isaiah Flowers, they're going to go to the opposite side. They wanted to hit Robert Downs at 3rd, or excuse me, Robert Downs, number 3, on the right side. And it was knocked down.
Avery writing his name down 30 times and putting it in 30 conspicuous places for me so I get it right. My name is.
So, gentlemen.
Yes.
There's going to be players of the game. There's MVP. There's the offensive player of the game. And there is the. And then there is the defensive player of the game.
And then there's player of the game.
Yeah, MVP, defensive, and offensive.
Well, I mean, offensive player of the game to me is easy.
Johnny Photo?
I give out, yeah, because I'm going to.
Yeah.
As that gets taken down, because my player of the game.
Gerald Hewlett?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Gerald Hewlett's my player of the game. I think he changed, Corey, the protection for the quarterbacks.
Yeah, he did.
Not only did he get the yardage, but the pressure went away because he could run. So that, and then on the defensive side, I don't know.
Montre. It's got to be Montre.
It's going to be somebody from.
I'm just saying the secondary gets it.
Yeah, but they're going to choose one from Riverside. So if it's going to be somebody from Riverside, Johnny Photo may get cut out.
Yeah.
Or they're going to have co-MVPs.
Viramontes throws, balls incomplete, knocked down to 30. Corey, I'm going to let you get. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Because I was going to say the defensive player of the game is going to be Caleb Johnson.
Because you've got 3s and 4s in now for Fullerton on the defense, I was going to let you get these guys in. We don't call them too often, so if you could get who's out there.
11 people.
Thank you. All right. All wearing blue and white.
Kari Henley is out there. Sarah Smith are the safeties. Joshua Fisher is at one corner. Jay Brown is a near side corner. Ryan Simpson and Peter Kasibwe are the linebackers.
Viramontes gets taken down for a sack on the play.
Kerry Walker's number 2 sack on the game. Jackson Loss is the middle linebacker wearing number 36. And Kerry Walker, who got the sack there with Omar Gonzalez, Kareem McDonald, and Andrew Glover, not Glover, but Glover on the defensive line.
It's interesting. Justin Manyweather stepped off the field on special teams, and they waved him out there, Corey, almost to say, hey, if you can get it, take it home. See if the punt. High spiral. Justin Manyweather is going to back up. He signals for a fair catch, drops it, follows it, goes down on his knee at the 35. So Manyweather says, it's my fault. I shouldn't have signaled for a fair catch. He does, but with 8:37 to go. It's Fullerton College 63, Riverside City College 16. You're watching Fullerton College football on Sportsnet, USA.net. And I had to say that because I want to thank Sportsnet, USA.net for making all these games possible again this year. Thank Ed Ford, everybody that's come out technically for Ed. Van Boo. James, who's came out here today, even though he's got that very tasteful, artistic scarf around his neck. Do you like that? Yeah? Well, you don't, Ed potted you down. Remember you told Ed to pot you down? So that's why you can't say anything. You just not have it.
Oh, okay, my bad. I was pot Avery down. Okay, sorry.
So there's Corey Neyland. See, there's a technical genius for you, and I'm just going to talk. So.
I should have taken my cue and left.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I thought you were doing. So Hendrick now comes out at quarterback. Fonnie Eckford is still the running back. And you look at somebody like David Hendrick out there, hands it off to Eckford. Eckford gets taken down in the backfield. Loss of one on the play. And, of course, this is the thing, too, Corey, where you don't want it to get real chippy right now and have Riverside decide, well, we're losing. We're gonna take some shots right now. So Corey Neyland now is actually going away from me. So Corey Neyland on his way out the door. Richie Melgoza over on camera right now for us. And Richie, I mean, Avery's got the camera, but somebody should have told him to take a microphone with him.
Yeah, he might have made a mistake there.
As Hendrick throws it down, and Bonte Eckford pulls it off the top of somebody's helmet for a first down, and Eckford just says, or was that it? Eckford comes down with what a catch by Infante Eckford. Watch this. Hendricks just says, I'm going to throw it up for grabs. Eckford says, I've got it. Bounces off the back of the Riverside defender, and Eckford pulls it down for a catch. First down for the Hornets at the 30. So Hendrick gets in a nice pass play with 6:48 to go. It's the Hornets 63, the Tigers 16 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Hendrick gets taken down in the backfield.
Hendrick stopped the loss at the 36.
Defense, number 91, out for one play for a helmet off.
So we have a player from Riverside that's got to go off. If you lose your helmet, you've got to go off the field. Josiah Villamu goes off the field for Riverside because of losing his helmet. So he'll come back on next play. Hendrick looks over. Eckford's still the deep running back. Huffman out wide to the left. Fleming out wide to the right with Richardson. Hendrick at quarterback. They come up the line of scrimmage. Hendrick feels the pressure. Throws up in the middle of the field because there's where the pressure is. Can't get a call. Tries to go to Spencer Owen down the field. Incomplete pass. So you throw in the direction of the pressure. That's what he does. Another quarterback that could easily be playing someplace else and starting. 4 deep for the Hornets. 63-16. The Hornets looking for maybe one more before this day is done. 6:04, here they come. Hendrick himself up the middle. Hendrick on a dead run. Got to keep going. Touchdown, Fullerton. So every quarterback is on the board as David Hendrick out of Foley, Alabama. Foley High School, 6'3" freshman says, well, Richie, if you can do it, if Avery can do it, if Corey can do it, everybody knows I can do it. And he gets in there. And the Hornets look to put up point number 70 on Riverside.
You know, Mark, those read options have been working for them all day. All 3 quarterbacks just able to read it really well, decide to keep it, and then those giant holes right in the middle of the field, and all 3 of them have taken those opportunities and scored for touchdowns.
And, Richie, you've been out there every week. You've had the pleasure of interviewing many players, doing the coaches show every week. The attitude of these players, there's so much talent. Have you heard anybody complain because they're not on the field, not playing?
Not even once. I mean, I've heard guys say, like, obviously I want to be out there more, but like, you're a player. Obviously you want to be out on the field more. But no one said, like, you know, I'm mad that I'm not playing. They understand their roles. They know what they're doing, and they're all great team players. So they're out there doing their best and helping this team win. And
you've seen them at practice, too. They're all giving 100% of practice. You guys have never come back and said anybody's loafing. You know, so it's a fun group to look at from Kane Wilson, who we know. You could tell me how disappointed Kane Wilson must be not to be out there.
He is extremely disappointed. We can see it on his face every time we're out there practice. He's out there. He wants to be practicing. He wants to be playing. I mean, who can blame him? You're pretty much the starting quarterback of this team, and here we are in the playoffs and you're not playing. Luckily, his team's winning. He should be back. I mean, maybe by the Sacramento game. We'll see.
Yeah, just a great young man, and I mean, Richie's had the pleasure of interviewing him more than once out on the field. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. The kick's blocked. You can pick it up and take it back for a 2-point conversion. Doesn't happen here on Sportsnet. So it's the Hornets, 69. Riverside, 16 with 6:02 to go here in the fourth quarter. Well, it looks like, watch out, that fast train to Clarksville, Northern California. Well, no, it's actually Sacramento is where they're going to head. The Hornets will get ready to go. We'll see if it's a repeat from last year against American River, where it came down to a last-second play, Richie. I mean, the championship game last year was probably the most exciting, not because it was a championship game. It was just a close football game. last year, and we'll see if it is up in Sacramento this year.
Yeah, not too many close football games for the Hornets this season. I can say that for sure.
No,
I think maybe one, maybe two if you want to push it. You're talking even just halftime scores, nothing really close except for that one Saddleback game.
Yeah, that's it. And I mean, really, at the end of the game, they're not close. They're close at
not,
halftime.
Yeah, and they're still not close at the end of the game.
Yeah. So the Hornets, 69 points here on SportsNetUSA.net. Goes all the way back in the end zone. He's going to run it out. They figure, why not? Takes it at the 10. Sidesteps 2. On the sideline, then gets knocked out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Taken there by Joshua Jeffrey. We get a flag in the middle of the field. And I do like the fact that we've got a player down. And two of the Riverside players came over to try and help him up. Didn't help him up because he looked like he was hurt, so he stayed down on the ground just for a second. 5:56 to go. That's right. The Hornets, 69. Riverside, 16. On SportsNetUSA.net.
Number 38 has been disqualified from the contest.
So Coochie out of Lake Elsinore.
You know, I don't think I've seen a single disqualification all season, and there's 2 in one game.
So Riverside gets backed up. Viramonte stays in at quarterback with 5:56 to go. A little surprising, but he wants to end his career here. Hands it up, straight up the middle, taken there, knocked down right after a nice little gain. That is Pierce, Kempson Pierce, freshman running back out of Etiwanda High School in Fontana. There's Coach Smith and the Smith family walking by. Clock runs. Viramonte looks over. Going to hand it off again. Straight up the middle. One more time. Kempson Pierce out of Fontana, California. Etiwanda High School. Freshman running there. Brian Terry now comes in as a defensive back for the Hornets, along with Kendra Powell. Viramonte throws it out into the flat. Actually, no gain taken there by Malik Holcomb, who gets back to the line of scrimmage. They'll give him a gain, a small gain. So Riverside looking for something that they can say at the end of the day, what if? What if we had more of those plays? As Viramonte looks over, the defense for the Hornets says, it's all been defense. As they run it up the middle, out to the 30. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 for the Tigers at the 30.
You know, Marta, I really want to commend the Hornets defense today. Doing a great job of getting tackles in open ground. Like, there was a couple of times Riverside players could have easily broken free for big gains, but a great job of tackling by the defense, both the line and the defensive backs.
They've wrapped up today. Viramonte, who just has not gotten anything. I mean, Richie, if you look at his stats, he had 1 yard in rushing in the first half.
Yeah, and you know, Brian Fritz told us before the game, I know you probably already said it, if we can stop 10, we win this game, and that's what they've done.
Yeah, you look at Viramonte, who averages 121 yards a game, and he had 1 yard.
Yeah.
Just amazing. They keep Viramonte on the field. 4th down and 1. Viramonte at quarterback. Stoudemire out wide to the left. Viramonte runs the option play. Viramonte stays on his feet. Hurdles himself over the 40. Cirque Soleil.
That's something we've also seen a lot of today, Mark. Just guys going for the hurdle and getting absolutely taken out by the Lids.
Gets a first down for Riverside with 3:19 to go as he hurdles himself right here. You watch him up over. There we go. Going deep down the sideline. Look. Yeah, pick one more time for the Hornets. And that should close the book. As the Hornets come away, the secondary, well, Phil Austin, the head coach, Richie, one of the nicest guys out there, the assistant head coach, they have proven themselves to him today.
He's going to be a happy coach after this game. He probably is already happy.
So Phil Austin, you know, we heard him a couple weeks ago say to his guys, hey, if you're not going to step up, if you're not going to play, you can all go home. Well, you know what, Coach? They did it for you today. David Hendrick goes back up the middle, takes it at the 45. So Isaiah Webb back in the game at running back. Hendricks drops the ball. Webb can't get it. Hendricks takes a slide at the 29. Nobody needs to get hurt with 2:16 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's the Hornets. That's right. 69 points for the Hornets. 16 for Riverside. Here in the CCCAA, the Southern California Football Association Championship game on Sportsnet, USA.net.
I wish Corey up here, he usually knows the records. Is this the most points scored in a championship game?
It
Mark?
might be. I mean, you know, I don't remember being around a Fullerton team where they have scored 69 points in a game on a championship game. Hendrick down the middle of the field, right there in the money. They're going to get 76. Here comes the run. Touchdown by Fleming.
The Hornets just do not quit. All gas, no brakes, Mark.
Devin Fleming out of Cypress. St. John Bosco. As Hendrick puts it on him, they're in the end zone. Well over 70 points for this Hornet football team.
Starting to look like a basketball score up there, Mark.
So Corey Neyland, I'm going to put this one in Corey Neyland's book for most points scored in a championship game. And we've heard it from Fullerton College. You never feel like you've won the game. You keep playing the game as if you need to play it 100% all time. It's not running up the score. That's what they've done today. You got 4 good quarterbacks, and you know that, Richie. You can't look at anybody you know as being an athlete. How can you say to anybody, don't play hard, young man?
Yeah. These guys, it allows them to do the plays they do because all 4 of their quarterbacks can run. They can all throw for the most part. And just it allows them to do those read options and get big plays. And then it opens up the passing game. And then it opens up the run game. And it just keeps going. And you just can't stop this offense, really.
And you don't want to practice all the time, Richie, to have somebody say to you, Richie, take a knee.
Yeah.
Richie, take a knee. You want to go out there and say, guys, I can do it. As they are going to take a knee with 1:30 to go. It's the Hornets 75. Riverside 16 on Sportsnet, USA.net. Well, Richie Melgoza, when you volunteered to come out today and Avery volunteered, I was just hoping because I knew that we'd already beaten Riverside that we all didn't go home and say, man, we were that close.
Well, you know, I talked to you, when did we talk? On Tuesday? And I was like, Mark, you think it's going to be close? And you said no.
No.
You thought we had this one from Tuesday, and so I'm going to give you that. You did call this one.
Yeah, I just, this is really it was a special team last year. But because every time I talk to you guys, and I got to go back to this theme, that none of you ever came back and said, oh, man, they're moping about this, they're complaining about that, they're doing this. You guys never came back and told me those stories. I went, Wow, this entire group has bought into everything the coach has said.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. You can see them right now down on the sidelines. They are already celebrating. They pretty much have been. These guys just never quit. Their motto over here for the Fullerton Hornets, all gas, no brakes. And you can see that in the games they play. You can see it at practices. See it on the sidelines. It's all over the place. And these guys really buy into the system.
Northern California, get ready. Southern California is coming ready to visit you. And they're coming with the big M on their back. No, that's not for Mark, the voice of Fullerton College. It's called momentum.
Oh, man, at this point, I think they're a little bit past momentum. I don't know what you'd call this.
Richie, they get better every game, don't they?
They seriously do, Mark. Every time we think they're going to run to a challenge, it's going to be a tough game, and they come out and they blow them out. It makes our job no fun almost.
You know, it's just amazing. I've never seen a team progress like this. Little pooch, onside kick. It's good. Phil Austin calls it. Field goal out of bounds with 1:30 to go here on Poet Field. Well, if poetry is motion, and motion is connectivity, and connectivity is electricity, and electricity creates power, and power is scoring, that's what this Hornet team has been.
Yeah,
wow.
Right.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team. Ball went out of bounds at the 45-yard line. First down, Riverside.
So Avery's down there. I don't think he took a mic because I think he was just going to get some footage of the team celebrating down there on the field. So we'll see. I'll probably have to take him a mic, though.
You will. You have to run down a mic down there to him so that we get it.
But first, I got 1:30 left here.
So it's football lure in the fall, creates anticipation. We live for the state championship. Another haiku here on SportsNetUSA.net at Poet Field, Whittier College. We want to thank you for making our stay here for the last two games. I want to thank everybody for being kind to Ed Ford, myself, Corey Neyland, the rest of our crew that was up here. Thank you, Whittier College, for making sure that it was convenient for us to make sure these broadcasts happen here on SportsNetUSA.net. For everybody back in the athletic department of Fullerton, thank you for all the support this year as Riverside runs the dive play down the middle. To Tom Duff, the memory of you, the spirit of you. Well, Tom, your spirit goes big as Fullerton's going to move on to maybe another national championship. At least back-to-back state appearances, maybe back-to-back state and national as this game comes to a close. To all the fans, all the families, everybody that watched us and listened to us here on SportsNetUSA.net, thank you for the tweets, the congratulations for everything. We want to thank you as your Hornets are coming away with a 75-16 victory here on SportsNetUSA.net. As they get ready for the awards, the presentation of the Southern California Championship Trophy, meaning that representative will go to Northern California and play at Sacramento City College. The representative there on I'd like to say on SportsNetUSA.net.
I finally found Avery. I had to watch out for him. He might start celebrating with the team.
Yeah, you know Avery. So we'll get the awards for the players. And then our day will come to a conclusion here on SportsNetUSA.net. Got to see if Richie can go down there and give Avery a microphone. As Avery didn't go down there with a microphone, which is unfortunate for B-roll, since we could get a little more.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So we get ready for MVPs, the presentation of the trophy.
outstanding player for the Hornets, number 32, Caleb Johnson.
So Johnson becomes the outstanding player for the Hornets. It's Caleb Johnson, the linebacker out of Murrieta. Went to Vista Murrieta High School. Of course, you should know about Vista Murrieta High School here on sports.usa.net. Did a lot of softball for him.
And now, once again, most valuable player from Riverside, number 7, wide receiver, Cam Sutton.
And Cam Sutton, who made some outstanding catches for Riverside, and rightfully so, becomes the most valuable player for that Riverside team here in the Southern California Championship. As the Hornets are going to win this game 75-16 here on sportsnetusa.net.
The trophies for today's game for these winners from the North Orange County Community College District. Trustee Stephen Blount. Have a nice round of applause for Stephen Blount.
Waiting, I think, for the most valuable player we need.
Now, in this 2017 Southern California Championship game, the most valuable player award goes to number 17,
Johnny Photo, which was our pick here on sportsnetusa.net. Got it. And Johnny was outstanding today, people. I mean, Johnny not only threw the ball right on the dime, but then he took off. He waltzed his way. He two-stepped his way. He did a little ballet, a little jazz. You know, you may want to say Joffrey ballet is what he sort of looked like when he scored that touchdown, you know, when he got in there. So he is the MVP here of the CCCAA Southern California Football Association Championship game on sports.usa.net. And for Tim Burns, well, once again, back-to-back years where his team has lost one football game and heads now for the state championships and looks to be reigning national champion here on sports.usa.net. Well, it's been a heck of a season. The Hornets have come away with a 75-16, and they head to Sacramento. It has been our pleasure all year long. We want to thank all the fans, all the players, all the families, and everybody from sports.usa.net for making this game possible as your Hornets move on to the championship game with a 75-16 victory over Riverside City College here on sports.usa.net. Want to make sure all our games, and thank our sponsor. I almost forgot. Thank you, Ed, for Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Don't forget, when you're in town, always make sure you go by Miller Toyota of Anaheim, even if you don't buy the car, and say, thanks for making sure I could see my child in all the games here on sports.usa.net. Just because football is coming to close doesn't mean we're going away. Make sure you look for us when baseball, softball, and a little basketball season continues here on sports.usa.net. But as for now, this championship has come to an end as your Hornets come away with a victory, 75-16 over Riverside City College here on sportsnet.usa.net.